Hey, welcome to Freedom Speech and You. And no, I'm not doing this by myself tonight, but Andrea is a little bit delayed, so she will be with us shortly. And so tonight's our topic is the Supreme Court decision on Roe versus Wade to get rid of Roe versus Wade. And so that is our prime topic, but we will hold that until we have a bigger audience. Right now we have an audience of one. So thank you, Robin Brazel, for being here. And if I'm saying your last name incorrectly, please correct me. But we have an audience of one. Plenty of room here in the big, giant living room in virtual land. And hopefully we'll have more people join us. Looks like we have an audience of two. So we have one on Twitch and one on YouTube. So Twitch viewer will probably chime in here shortly. So we'll see what you want to talk about tonight. What do you want to talk about tonight, Robin? And yeah, we'll see Andrea step in here shortly. But she was taking care of all the animals in her house, so she had a lot to do. And so she is getting cleaned up after that. So such is life. Obviously, the big decision this week on the Roe versus Wade. And again, for our viewer that just joined us, whoever you are, that is our topic for tonight. And we will always take your comments and questions, your suggestions about what to talk about, because this is a suggestion-driven show. And so make a suggestion, get in chat, let us know what you want to talk about. The Florida weather and the allergy season is messing with my nose. I've been in and out of the garage in the last few minutes, and so you can just get a twitch going on with your nose, and not the twitch that you can broadcast on, but a twitch that makes you itch. So if you see me touch my nose, that's why. Because it is that season here in Florida where everything grows and all the allergens come out. So, and let's see. So who do we have out there? We have 3 viewers. We have 2 on YouTube, one on Twitch. So somebody else is out there with you, Robin. I don't know who they are. They haven't got in chat yet. And we have somebody on Twitch that is there. So, you know, a Twitch viewer, chat with us, please. Oops, would be nice if I would spell that correctly. And Robin says Southern Indiana has some of the worst air quality in the country. Indiana. Yeah, I went through Indiana. I wouldn't say that I thought it was so bad. I don't know. I went through mostly like Indianapolis, so I don't know if that's considered the South or not. I never was really great with geography. I'd have to look. But I didn't have too many problems in and out there, and I was in there in July, so but that was 4 years ago, 5 years ago, almost 5 years ago. So who is watching? Who's watching besides Robin? Who's watching on Twitch? Y'all need to chat up and say hello. Or are you just studying us to figure out what to do with your channel? Who's out there watching us? Or are you watching something else and watching this at the same time so as to increase our numbers? If you are, thank you. So they're probably just waiting for Andrea to get here. That's probably what they're waiting for. So, Robin, I hope your connection is consistent because it keeps showing you in and out here. So I don't know if your connection is being bad. So we'll see. We'll see what your connection is like. So I am going to put the banner up. I'm going to put the crawl on the bottom of the screen in case for some reason somebody is watching us that doesn't know how to contact us in chat, or they're not a registered viewer, so they don't know how to get in touch with us. So I'm going to put that information up so that they can learn about who we are, and maybe text us or call us if they're wondering, like how can I participate? How can I tell you what I'd like to see or hear? So I'll leave that crawl up for a little while, and I'll get on my phone and just see. I'm solid on my end, says Robin, but I'm going to have to start charging my phone while watching. Yeah, we use our phones a lot. Sometimes they go down on us. So anyway, we have somebody out there watching. So I'm killing time till Andrea gets here, until we get more viewers, because I want to wait and get to the body of our discussion when we have a larger number of viewers. And that usually happens when we have a little bit more time pass into the show. Hello there, Aaron. So I'm going to get rid of that right now. Okay. Hey, Aaron, welcome. Good to have you here. Okay, be right back. Hopefully you're going to go invite other people. She says good morning. I'm probably due for a new battery because your phone is from 2016. Yeah, mine was from 2019. They're still working okay, but my 2019 phone was too cheap, and so it's kind of like, it's not a battery problem. It just has other issues where it just kind of gets congested because it's been used so much, and I think parts of it are worn out. I know that like the radio part of it, the Wi-Fi and the data is kind of like whatever. Oh, thanks, Cigar F1. This is my workout shirt. This is one of those self-wicking shirts that dries really quick, and it's like a dark navy blue, but it probably looks like black on camera because of the lighting. But it just depends on your monitor. So yeah, it makes me look better. He must be a rich guy to have a beautiful home. No, just virtual. I can take that down and make it look just like green, and the walls are almost the same color as this cup. When I put the cup next to me, you can see the cup, but because I'm not using green screen effect, I'm using a virtual camera effect. Depending on where objects are and where my hands are, you may or may not see them all. You know, it's like mysterious, almost like the Invisible Man. So we have 4 viewers right now. We have 3 on YouTube, and we have Cigar F1 on Twitch. So who is that 3rd viewer? Because we have Aaron and Robin, I think, if Aaron is back. And it seems like to me every week when we start at this time, we're kind of low on viewership because either we're competing with other shows, or it could be because in Central Time, this is the news hour, because in Central Time it's 6:25 p.m. So it could be people are watching their national news right now. I don't know, but it's always a competition to see if you can get viewers. Jim says, hey, hey, holy mackerel, no doubt about it. Hey. Robin says, make sure you got it all set to go before you come for Kenneth's piano. I know what song you're talking about now. If I could just remember the title, but it's that one. Shoot, who is it that sings that song? Oh yeah, the old "Stay a Little Bit Longer." Jackson Browne, I think. Yes. So anyway, those of you who tuned in a little bit late, yeah, the loadout / stay is what it's called, because if you play it end to end, it's actually 2 songs on the LP. Hey TB12. Hey, thanks for checking in and saying hello. Yeah, everything's well. We're just kind of waiting it out to get to the body of the show. I mean, y'all can ask for anything you want to see or hear, but right now we're kind of waiting for Andrea to get here until we get to the prime topic of the night, which is the Roe versus Wade. So we're just kind of holding till we get a bigger audience. Where's Andrea? She is running a little bit late because she was taking care of the animals, and she kind of has to get cleaned up after that. She took in a couple new animals tonight that were running around the neighborhood, and so she had more animals to take care of in Casa de Andrea. But such is life. But yes, she will be here. She's got her voice back. And so we have 5 viewers right now on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. So good to see you all out there. Chime in with us and tell us who you are, and let us know what you want to talk about, because that is what we do here on Freedom Speech and You. We talk about the topics that you want to talk about. So we'll do that tonight. We'll do that every Sunday night or every Sunday afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. It's nighttime for me. It's nighttime for Central Time. It's nighttime for Europe. But those of you in Mountain and Pacific and points west of that, it's still afternoon. And if you're far enough around the world, it's early morning. But we just don't know if anybody from that side of the world is actually looking at us. But it'd be nice if they were. So let us know what you want to talk about. Trump was talking last night. Robin says, I try to tell people they have to vote for Hillary, Supreme Court being the main reason. Yeah, yeah. The thing is, though, we would have had to convince so many people to vote for her that didn't. It would have kind of been a case of getting people. I mean, she won the popular vote. We all know that. But she had to win the Electoral College. And so, as we kind of discussed last week, or maybe I discussed it more in chat, I don't know. But, one of the reasons why she didn't win the Electoral College is because she didn't go after every last small location, every last city, the way her husband did. And so, both of you, Robin and Jim, you both could tell a lot of people, this is important to do this, and so on and so on. Hi, Andrea. Okay, so she'll be on in about 7 minutes. So we'll look forward to Andrea coming back tonight and co-hosting the show with me. Yeah, you try to tell people to do this stuff. You think that she's going to win, and that's the problem. I mean, because of the Electoral College, which was built up. Yes, hit that like. Do what Andrea says. Please hit the like. Please help us get seen on YouTube. And I don't know if you can do anything. I guess just subscribe to us on Twitch and follow us on Facebook if you're on Facebook watching this later. Jim says no, the main reason she didn't win is because she is a woman. Yes, unfortunately, we do have that gender bias among many voters. But there was just, there were several things going on. She didn't campaign down to the last district. Yes, she was a woman and there was gender bias going on. There was the ability of Trump to connect her with the Obama administration. And so, he's got that going for him. Plus he's got all of talk radio and all that stuff going for him, and Robin says, I'm a Bernie fan and not just a Johnny come lately fan. I've been telling people about Bernie for 20 years. Yeah, the one thing that would have helped Hillary is if she had let the Bernie people speak at the DNC. That might have made a difference because she might have won them over if she let them talk. It's hard to say, though. Jim says all the other reasons are just excuses to cover up the main reason. I suppose so, Jim. It could just be that she's a woman. I mean, we're going to be kind of stuck with that until a woman actually wins the presidency. So people are going to pretty much have that thing going. And Mariah comes on and says, I made sure to send the governor of Utah a very polite fuck you today. I presume that has to do with Utah's stance on abortion rights. So Utah abortion laws. So yes, I see that elective abortion is now illegal in Utah. So yeah, I mean, I keep that up in case you want to read that later. Jim says Bernie will never be the Democratic nominee. Well, that has to do with the fact that he's really an independent. Robin says, I'm lagging. Happens every time I'm watching live and charging. Sorry about that, Robin. But Robin, there's really no way for me to tell how long it takes for a comment to get to me other than to see it come up and compare it to my clock. Jim says, you folks are just pissing in the wind if you still think Bernie can. Robin says Hillary should have picked Bernie for her BP. Possibly, yes, that might have worked. Cigar F1 on Twitch says, someone approached me today and asked me if I supported My Body, My Choice, and I said yes. And then they asked me what about vaccine mandates. How would you answer that? Of course, Cigar F1, they're going to say that it's okay for them to say that they don't have to vaccinate because of the same argument that they will not grant to people who want an abortion. It is so disingenuous of them to do that. Robin says, it's just me here, Jim. I don't think Bernie will run again. Jim says, Robin, that might have been better. Yes, it might have been better to have him for a VP, but I don't know what her reasoning is. You'd have to ask her what her reasoning was to not draft Bernie in. I mean, I don't know. Unless she thought that Bernie would somehow be more polarizing for her because Trump could hold it against her. I don't know. I don't really know. I only know that Biden did very good with his VP choice because that helped bring people in. Mariah says Utah was among the 13 states with abortion ban triggering a law. Yes, I figured that out by searching. So yeah, the abortion trigger law. Florida is not one of those states yet, and they're coming after DeSantis There was news reports this morning on our local television that says that they're trying to get DeSantis to build a law of that sort. But that's going to be a catch-22 for DeSantis, and we'll discuss that shortly when Andrea gets here. Jim says, Robin, yes, I think it's time for that has passed. Yes, you think that Bernie has passed and will probably not run. It really depends. I mean, I think we could get to a Bernie presidency possibly. But first of all, we have to get away from the Republican Party. So there would have to be pretty much a strong Democrat Party that won most elections, and then the opposition would have to be those people that are more like Bernie. But we got to get away from the Republicans first. We have to educate people first to do that. You know, the only thing that would have got us to that quicker is if COVID wiped out everybody that was uneducated. But karma is such that, you know, sometimes the people that should suffer from karma don't suffer from karma, and other people suffer from karma because of what they're doing. So just kind of that way. So we're still talking off the cuff. Your conversations in chat are what we're discussing, and we're waiting for Andrea to get here in the next few minutes. And we have 4 viewers on YouTube and 2 on Twitch. So good. Thank you. Thank you. Chime in if you just joined us. Jim says, next time Sanders could run would be in 2028, and he'll be too old by then. I don't know. I mean, how old is he, Jim? Can we look? How old is Bernie Sanders? Bernie Sanders' age. Let's see. Born in 1941. His birthday is September 8th, so he is 80 years of age. So he would be 84? You said 2028? No, 86, sorry. By then. And how old is Biden? Cigar F1 says, when is the show starting? We're kind of holding off. The show has actually started, but we're holding off on the main topic until Andrea gets here, because we're trying to build up the audience before we discuss that topic. Because generally every week I discuss the topic at the start of the show, and when I do that, I wind up having to repeat it. So I'd really wait for Andrea before we get into the main topic. Robin says, I don't even care that Bernie can't play the harmonica. Jim says, just a heads up, my space bar doesn't always work, so if I enter too fast before correcting, some words may run together. No problem, Jim. I read slurred words. Cigar F1 says, will Stuttering John be joining the show tonight? That would be fun and interesting, Cigar F1, but so far I haven't got a big enough audience to get anybody to co-host with me besides Andrea, but we'll just kind of hope for someday to be that big that somebody actually joins in and, joins the show and does other things. So anyway, that was not show related, so I don't have to read that. But anyway, Jim says his weak thumb may be the reason why he might mistype something tonight. Well, whatever, I still got that keyboard that I spilled water on that has a few stuck keys on it, but it still works. You mean somebody famous? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe at some point, um, maybe we'll get somebody famous. But I think usually you need to have probably an audience of 20 or more, or maybe 100 people or more to get somebody on for for a show of that sort. I mean, just depends. Robin says, I'm in my garage again using headphones. We'll check comment periodically. Okay, Robin. And so we're still waiting for Andrea. She should be here in a few minutes. I'm not exactly sure how many minutes we're into that 7 minutes. Let me roll back up here and see. Nope, she's beyond the 7 minutes. Okay, well, such is the life of a busy person. So she'll be here as soon as she can be here. Cigar F1 says you should have Stuttering John share a link to the show on his Twitter. That may bring some more people. He hasn't done one of those beer on the balconies lately without a guest. Maybe if he gets into a show someday where his guest doesn't show up and I get on there again, maybe I can mention it because I'll be on there. But it's kind of mentioned things on Stuttering John to some degree. I mean, it's a little bit easier to do that than it is on Hal, because Hal links are not allowed. I did have some people follow me, so I'm not exactly sure who's checking in and out that's not saying anything, but I had some people follow me, and I did put up a video that explains how to get to this show. The one thing about my website, though, that is kind of limiting is my website will take you to a browser version of any one of these social medias. So if people don't log into the browser for Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, it may not take them to the app, because if they're doing it on a phone, they're kind of out of luck. So anyway, Robin says, I'm still not working out. Jim says there was a NASCAR race today. Is it on right now, Jim? Because I've kind of like gone whatever. Cigar F1 says your website has a Discord link, but the link is invalid. I think the problem with that Discord link is that I'm giving you the URL to the Discord. So thank you for letting me know about that. And what I need is a Discord invite. So I'm going to have to work that out. But thank you so much for letting me know about that, Cigar F1. So I will fix that, because obviously if somebody is not already in the Discord, then it's not going to open that link. Sometimes Discord links expire after 7 days. But see, the problem is I'm using the actual real URL that appears on the screen, and I think it has to be the funky little Discord link, which is different. It has to be that link that almost looks like a YouTube link that links to a video. Andrea says she's coming on in a second. Okay. That'll be fun. We can actually get started on the main topic. So, but yeah, that's the main thing is it's not a Discord invite, so it needs to be a Discord invite. So I guess what I'll have to do is I'll have to build a Discord invite link and make that a Discord invite and say, click this link if you're not on Discord, and then leave the other link up there and say, if you're already in Discord, this is how you'll get back there. Main topic, boxers or briefs. Not going there tonight, Jim. If you had to go to the top of your Discord, then there's a button that says invite. Just copy the link. Thank you, Cigar F1. Jim, you're funny. You're a funny character. I appreciate the laughter. Boxers or briefs. I don't know, Jim, but But I know if we are talking about the former guy, I hope whatever he has on it stays in place because I don't want to be around when things fall out. Link. You need the link to join up. Okay, I'll link you on Discord. So let me get the invite link for Andrea, and I will send it to Andrea on Discord. I sent you the link in email, but I guess maybe you didn't get it, but that's okay. I'll send it to you through DM. Because it might have gone to the wrong email, and maybe that's why you didn't see it. So let me DM it to you. And the link is sent. Okay. All right. So Andrea will be on shortly. And I could do that, I suppose. I could give you the Discord invitation. So let me do that too while I'm at it. Where's the Discord invitation? I think it's up there. You said it's at the thing. So let's see. You don't know where the race is, but they need to keep going in circles. Yeah, that's the truth about it, Jim. So I'm going to put the Discord link here in case somebody wants to join Discord. This is what you do to get in there. You know, you're probably going to have to do something to get that going. But the other thing that I can do is I can create a banner and scroll it across the bottom of the screen so that you can see it a bunch of times until you type it out. I'll put join Discord. So this little ticker at the bottom of the screen is going to tell you how to join Discord if it's going slow enough to actually see. But it's https://discord.gg/N_9ZH_Y_U3. So that's what you do to join Discord. And now Andrea is here. So we're adding Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Welcome.
Hello. I'm going to have to put the YouTube on without you talking so I can watch the chat. So I can see what they're saying.
Okay. And hide that banner. Okay, welcome. So Andrea's back. How many weeks has it been? Has it been
3, 4 weeks?
It seems like 3 at least, possibly 4.
Well, I got the
because
pink
you
eye.
may have been out.
I had the pink
Right.
eye. And then 12 days with no voice. So if it goes out on me, if it crackles, just letting you know. It's not totally there yet.
Okay. So we've been waiting the big topic for you.
Okay.
We've been holding out, and we've just mostly been chatting with the chat room all this time. And we've been learning that our Discord was not an invite. It was only good for somebody that was already in Discord. So we put that up for people that want to join the
Oh, okay.
Discord. Yeah, because I had the Discord URL instead of the invite URL. And so I need to basically put both on the website. You know, I need an invitation that I constantly update, and I need
Well, if they want
a
to go
link
on
for
the
people that are already in there.
well, if they want to go on the chat or go on, I just tell them to go to Freedom Speech and You on YouTube. That's how I
Right.
found it.
And
I
if
mean,
they,
that's how I get it.
right,
I don't use the
right.
link.
But anyway,
Hi,
so
Jim.
that was some of the stuff that we were doing tonight.
Hi, Robin.
And we have two on YouTube, so it's Jim and Robin, and we have one on Twitch. So I'm thinking we still have Cigar F1 with us on Twitch.
Hello,
We've
Aaron.
had somebody on Twitch that's been quiet, and we've had Erin come in and out. And I don't know if she's back yet, because it seems to me like whenever we do this, there's always a lag in the count of people
Yeah.
before I see them actually counted. So
I don't know. This stupid. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, guys, because they do it in house chat too. It will show live chat and then it shows top chat. And I'm confused on which one is which.
live
So,
chat's the one you want, because live chat gives you everybody. Top chat rates people based on how much they chat.
okay. Oops. Sorry. Glitter.
It always defaults to the top, but that is a pain in the you know what,
Well,
because
when you reboot, they switch. And that's very aggravating, especially when I'm trying to do the stats for how I can't do it accurately because I'm not sure which is which. You see what I'm saying?
Top is like the Facebook algorithm, so it's going on the people that talk the most.
Right. But when you're trying to get how many are in the chat and when you reboot or you scroll or whatever, it flips to where the top chat is on the top and the live chat's on the bottom. And then the next time you reboot, it does it back again. So you're not getting an accurate amount of how many people are truly in there or how many people truly are chatting. It's from this stupid update that they did.
Jim says we don't have enough participants in tonight's show for it to matter. Exactly.
I'm working on it.
4. And we have three on YouTube and one on Twitch. So I think we still have Cigar F1 out there, or we have our quiet, non-speaking person who doesn't chat with us on Twitch.
I'm messaging Benny right now.
Okay, so we'll hold off on the main topic then. So,
and hang on. And I am getting a hold of Crystal because I know that she wanted to come
PB12
on.
says click the 3 buttons on the top of chat window to show who's chatting. Yeah. And TB12, you're the one who is out there that's on YouTube that I'm getting used to. So, and we have 5 on YouTube right now and 1 on Twitch. So the numbers are coming up a little bit. How is everyone doing tonight? Let's just go through the basic stuff. And also, if you randomly got here, you're on Freedom Speech and You, where we discuss your topics, and we discuss usually about 1, maybe 2 topics a week of our choice. Jim says I always use Top Chat because they're the only ones that matter. I suppose. I mean, it depends on who you like to talk to, Jim. I mean, but you can miss people that way. So it really depends, you know. And they might talk to you more, Jim, than they talk to me. It just depends on who you're talking about. But it is what it is. And I wonder who Who came up with that phrase? That phrase has been like the most repeated phrase, especially on Richard Ojida's show. It is what it is, which I say is just the 2020 something version of que sera, sera. Whatever will
Right.
be, will be.
My ex used to say, half again, another, half a dozen or another. He used to say that, and that used to drive me nuts because I'd have to sit and think about, okay, it would take me a minute. Just say half a dozen or a dozen or less. It always confused me. I'm easily
I think
confused.
I think he's referencing like an egg carton. When you take half of them away, you either have those six or those six.
Right. No, get down.
And I think he's also six of one, half a dozen of another.
Of another.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that.
That's
He would
the
say that
actual
too.
original phrase.
Yeah. All right. I
Jim
put some.
says I don't chit chat off screen. You see, that's the thing I do, Jim. I do chit chat off the screen with people because sometimes I'm more involved in the chat than I am in what the host is talking about. So
Okay. I let Benny know, so we'll see. She's on. So she's on Instagram, so that I let her know.
talking about donuts.
That was
Is
funny
that
because
where the phrase came from?
we were talking about that last night. Remember the donuts? Or was that about the donuts I got from
Some
my
people
sister?
I know they were talking about donuts in Discord. I know that. I know there was a big discussion about donuts in Discord.
Right.
And just to talk about some of our chat participants over on House Show, Suzanne is always like posting donuts, and I'm like going, boy, that woman must love donuts.
she used to work for Dunkin'
A
Donuts, I
donut
think.
shop?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
So one of the things that I don't know if any of you saw, Stuttering John, he had Ron Filikowski on there. And Ron came up with some really good points. He also posted part of it on Twitter. Him and Glenn Kirshner are right up there on things. They are just right on there. And we aren't going to be able to get where we are as a nation. I love my Democrats. I love being a Democrat. I love doing things for the Democratic Party. I text, I email, I send stuff every year doing stuff for the Democratic Party. However, if we do not get our butts in gear and start getting a little bit of backbone, we are not going to win in November. And if some of these Democrats don't start standing up to these Republicans when it comes to the J6 hearings, Trump is going to get away with it. And we're going to be in big, big trouble, and we're going to be stuck.
So, hi to H2OGS303. I never know how to say your name. But hi and welcome to the chat. She is on Twitch tonight. She says hello to both of us.
Did you get a hold of Lynette?
I sent a message to her. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's watching somebody else's broadcast because we do have competition out there. So,
yep.
Because the Midas Touch people are pushing a podcast at 7 p.m. So
right. So do we want to start talking about Schumer and Pelosi are our leaders? Yeah, they are. But and That's not the problem. The problem is the other Democrats around them, Joan. Pelosi and Schumer can only do so much. You know, they can only, being the leaders, they can only do so much. And we don't even know if Pelosi is definitely running or not. She says she is, but I don't know. I don't know if she is or not. And if she doesn't, then that means Schumer's going to be, he would run. And we need another woman like Pelosi in there. We really do.
Okay, just a quick aside. Water Goddess 303 is the way that she calls herself. So she decoded the handle for me.
H2O, which is water, Goddess 303. I get it.
Okay. And you were responding to Jim's "we need to get off the high road" comment. And she also said she sees us a lot on House Sparks a lot.
Yep.
And so I'm putting that up for our friends that are on YouTube because she's on Twitch. And Robin chimed in and said Schumer and Pelosi are our leaders. And Jim says we're taking feathers to knife fights. And Robin says Ojeda just started too, so I'm staying here. Yeah. We do run into competition with other shows.
Yeah. Airborne, he's been on fire lately. Ooh, has he been on fire?
But just to get back to something that Water Goddess and I were discussing in private messages, I think. Yeah, I think it was in private messages. She had been on, or was it in the Discord? Probably was in the public Discord for this show. She was asking if we could do something like on Fridays or one day a week after Hal, and I said I could possibly do a show on Fridays after Hal.
The thing of it is, which would work, is just Hal goes until 8, 9 o'clock, and if he is on a banter, you know, he's kind of iffy sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and I had told Major, I'm like, I'd love to come on your show, but I've got to finish up with Hal first. So, you know, either Major's got to change it to after 9, or Hal's just going to have to stop at 8.
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking of going as a show following the Houseworks morning show on Friday. But the problem there is if John bumps his show to Friday, then I would be up against John.
Yeah, see, and the other thing is I can't be here if that happens. And that's, you know, my first priority is to Hal, and my second, you know, the second is John.
So on serious discussion, Water Goddess 303 says we need to get off our asses and show up at the ballot box this year, next year, and the year after that. Yes. Yeah, I'm with Hal on the 6 elections. And she also said it's cool that you can share. And she says, no worries, guys. I'm not sure what that's about, but
I think that what's going to kick us in the butt is this thing with the January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
I personally do not think that Merrick Garland is going to do a damn thing. I honestly don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a very meek and mild person. I don't think he has it in him to really stand up to him and do it. And that's my fear. And that's a lot of the fear of people in the chat that I've seen, not just on Hal's. I've been on other chats, and I've noticed that people are really concerned. They're concerned that Trump is going to get away with it. And we as Democrats, we need to we need to be prepared for that if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Republican Party is going to go after us big time.
Now, I don't know that you want me to bring this up, but you mentioned Ron Filipowski earlier. He tweeted 9 hours ago some interesting bullet points. He said, Ron DeSantis refuses to 1. Defend Trump on January 6th, 2. Ask Trump for his endorsement, 3. Open up a Truth Social account, 4. Say whether he will propose a bill to outlaw abortion in Florida. You and I were discussing this
He
earlier.
cannot do that. He cannot do that.
And 5, talk about the affordable housing crisis. Now, I want to go back to number 4, since you and I were discussing this off the show. Say whether he will propose a bill to outlaw abortion in Florida, since that's right on tonight's topic. Your thoughts?
Jim, well, hold on one second. Jim says, I don't agree with Andrea. I think the DOJ is working hard. I just don't think Merrick Garland is working as hard as I think that it should be. He has not made any statements. He has not made any, reassuring people. You know what I mean? Reassuring people that, he may, Water Girl, he may surprise us. I do not think that, I think we need some reassurance. We're not being presented with everything that they know. Okay. We're getting the gist of it, basically. Okay. Maybe we'll get more with them being off of, and coming back in July. Maybe they're waiting for those people that said that they've got more information to come back to them. I just don't think Merrick Garland is going to be that strong person that we need as the head of the DOJ.
And I guess everybody is seeing on TV the map of the states that blocked abortion.
Right.
But
no,
the ones
Jim,
that are ahead, did you want to see that map, or
hang on
has
one second.
everybody seen it enough?
Hang on a second, and then we'll show it. The DOJ is not supposed to comment. No, but I think there needs to be reassurance. Just to say, we are looking behind the scenes. We are, do a press conference. You don't have to answer questions. Just reassure the American people. Yes, we are doing this. Yes, we cannot discuss what is going on, but assure the American people we are doing what we need to do in order to make this count and reassure people. Just because they did during 45 administration, it doesn't make it the right way. And Robin says, I understand the worry. I believe we will be pleasantly surprised. I hope so, because he got away with being impeached twice. He was impeached, but he wasn't booted. And I think maybe that may be my fear, is that it's just not going to happen this time. Why? Because Americans are such children that they need reassurance, and that is the government working as it should. A lot of it is this thing with the Roe versus Wade and the SCOTUS. I think a lot of people just don't have faith anymore in our government, and I think that's a lot of it. That's a lot of what I see in the chats. In that people just do not have faith that we're going to get things done, that we're going to do things that need to be done. We've gone through how many years? 4 or 5 years with Trump, and he's gotten away with almost everything. And I think that's a real fear for people. Okay, go ahead, Ken.
Okay. So it's coming up. And let me make it bigger. And I'm going to bring our cameras down to, I have to bring it, see if can I do that? Will that do that? Yeah, that'll bring us down. I mean, I could kind of scroll it. But all of these ones that are the dark red color, South Dakota, Utah, Missouri. Wish I could get that to go away. Will that go away? No. That just makes it worse. Go away. Go away. South Dakota, Utah, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Kentucky, Ohio. And then the legend says that the ones that are this, what do you want to call that color? It's kind of like an off
Magenta.
orange. No, the ones Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, Tennessee, and Missouri or Mississippi, excuse me. Those will be banned in 1 month. The ones that are the other color that's like a lighter orange are likely to ban. The ones that are white are uncertain, and the legal and likely ones are the purple ones, or the the what did you call that? Chartreuse,
Like
whatever.
a magenta or
Sort of like a faded magenta, yeah.
right.
So anyway,
Wait,
those are the ones that are involved. Did you want to see any more of that, or that's enough?
I'll keep that up for a second. Because I'm going to say something about Florida in a minute. Jim says, sorry. Robin says, we have to shovel ready legislation ready the next time we get 60. The government, Jim says, the government's supposed to lead. If they lead as if the people are stupid, then the people will remain stupid. And that's what the Republican Party is doing. Robin says, I have voted since 88. I have been voting since 86. When I turned 18. Jim the Geek says, we worry far too much about not offending the ignorant. We should be dealing with the adults and let the immature grown-ups fend for themselves. Yeah, I agree with that somewhat. However, more the idiots and the dumbasses are the ones that are on the Republican side, not on the Democrat side. Although there may be one or two. But I agree with that. The thing I wanted to say about Florida, because DeSantis does not do his due diligence, does not read anything that he should be reading about the state of Florida. State of Florida is a red flag state. Problem with this abortion Roe versus Wade thing is Florida cannot get out of it. We're a red flag state. We are damned if we do and damned if we don't on DeSantis. If he goes against being a red flag state, then the people that are for the red flag state are going to turn against him, and that's majorly his base. If he goes the other way and bans everybody and not be a state that accepts abortions, then he's going to lose other people too. And most of the people in Florida are Catholic. They're very religious. They're older. And a lot of this, they saw years ago. And the reason why DeSantis has not said anything is I honestly think he does not know what to do, because he did not read about it. He did not read up on it. and now he's screwed. He is screwed. He's screwed if he does, he's screwed if he doesn't. And that's why he hasn't said anything about it. Just like the thing with the Disney World thing. He did not do his due diligence. He did not read that Walt Disney had made a thing with the state of Florida. And if the state of Florida wanted to get out of it, they would have to pay Disney millions of dollars. And that's why it kind of went away. So I think that's one of the reasons why DeSantis hasn't said anything. The other reason he is not interacting as much as he is, and because Trump hasn't backed him, because Trump does not like DeSantis at all. And I think that something happened. Florida's Constitution. We have in the state of Florida what's called the Patient's Bill of Rights in the state of Florida. And in the Patient's Bill of Rights, you are protected for health care. However, you can also sign an against medical advice because of that Florida patient's rights. However, Florida patient's rights, because of the red flag law, does not cover abortion or used to not. You could not go in there and say, I want an abortion and have an abortion and then turn around and say to the healthcare people, oh, you didn't tell me that there was a baby. You didn't tell me this and that, and sue them. It protects the patient, but it also protects the healthcare system. So it's not necessarily, it's kind of like a blanket to cover everybody, but it's more for the healthcare worker or that doctor per se. It does not. It used to not cover abortions. Only cover like women that were having a miscarriage or they had an ectopic pregnancy or something like that. That may have changed. That was back in 89, 90. So it may have changed by now. But the Patient Bill of Rights is active. It is part of our Constitution, Florida's Constitution. And you better damn Skippy be sure that what the patient wants, the patient gets. Because it can backfire on you as a healthcare professional. It can basically take a doctor's license if they do not follow that Patient Bill of Rights. And it is in our Constitution. You're right, Jim. They cannot ban abortion because of the red flag law and because of the Constitution, because of the Patient's Bill of Rights. It's part of it, yes. Yes, Jim. So that's where the problem lies on DeSantis. And that's why he hasn't said anything. When he signed that supposed law before the SCOTUS came out, Ken, before they came out with that and he signed into some kind of a law, he was told after he did that, you can't do that. No, there is a red flag laws refer to gun ownership, but they also, it's kind of like the same thing for abortion here in Florida. He's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't because of the Constitution and the Patient Bill of Rights. The red flag laws, if because of the red flag laws on the guns, which is the 10, 20, 20, 20, 10, meaning if you get caught with a gun in the state of Florida, like you bring it out, you automatically get 10 years. If you take that gun and you point it at somebody, you get 20 years. If you take that gun and you shoot somebody with it, you get 20 to 25 or life. The problem with the red flag law in Florida, part of that is because of that law. And you can own a gun, but you cannot also brandish it. We don't have concealed carry in Florida. So if you show a gun and you go to point it at somebody or even brandish it, even show it, and somebody sees that, they can call the cops. And you can automatically get 10 years. No trial, no doubt, nothing. Boom. You're in 10 years. And then if you take that gun and you point it at somebody, boom, automatic 20. And if you kill somebody with it, it's 25 or life. And the red flag laws, that bypasses the red flag laws in the state of Florida on certain situations. Hi, Les. Yes, we are. Thank you, Les. Thank you for hopping over. Florida, DeSantis does not do his homework at all on anything. And he is very, it's all about him. I'm going to do this because I'm allowed to or I want to without doing anything. There's a big stir up right now in Tallahassee with the there's a big stir up right now because our people up in Tallahassee are on vacation. The Congress is up there, but a lot of them are going against DeSantis. So it will be interesting to see what happens in February when they come back. Yep, lots of governors do not do their homework. Correct. Aaron says, I don't know how that applies to abortion, though. It applies to abortion because we have a patient bill of rights. And that's the loophole. He cannot, if a patient wants an abortion, the abortion goes through in the state of Florida because of the patient bill of rights. Because the patient bill of rights are embedded in the state constitution as an amendment. So there's nothing that he can do. He can't change it. There's not enough time to change it. The 28th of, I think it's either the 25th or the 28th of July is our primary. November is the election. There's not enough time. And our Congress does not come back into session until February. So DeSantis just did not do his due diligence. Ron Filikowski, I'll tell you, he is dumber than dumb. He does not do the work. He does not do the reading. And if I remember right, Florida, we should have Ron on, but I think Florida is the only state that has a patient bill of rights. Every state has HIPAA, but not every state has the patient bill of rights. The red flag doesn't connect. That's just a separate thing that happened that didn't get a lot of talk about when the SCOTUS came out. And Ken can talk to you about that.
The red flag law?
What happened after the SCOTUS thing came out with the abortion? Wasn't there another thing that had to do with the red flag laws that came out shortly after that?
I don't know if this article gets into that, but I know that people were discussing additional laws because apparently Roe versus Wade being a Supreme Court decision and it being overturned triggers discussions of overturning similar laws that were Supreme Court decisions.
Jim
So
would know what I'm talking about. It had to do with another law that was on the books that also had to do with the guns. It was shortly done right after SCOTUS, the same day.
I heard the talk show people mention it, but I don't know if it's in this article or not.
Aaron,
And I'm not a legal scholar, so I don't know.
Aaron,
The name
the
doesn't
reason,
stick with me.
Aaron, the reason a red flag law on the gun law doesn't work in the state of Florida is we have 10, 20, 25 to life. If you take a gun and you bring it out, automatically you get 10 years. Because we don't have conceal in the state of Florida. Conceal carry.
Hey,
If you take
look at this interesting thing. This is a related article. Some Jewish groups blast the end of Roe as a violation of their religious beliefs. It says, according to the Women's Rabbinic Network, some of the religion's most sacred texts, the Torah, the Mishnah, and the Talmud, sorry if I'm saying those wrong, view a fetus as a soul only once it's born. So they're saying that if you protect the
right
fetus,
because in the state of Florida, you can say that your church does not believe in vaccinations, and you can go down to the local health department, sign a piece of paper that says, I do not want to give my child shots for my religious belief. That is along the same lines. There is something in the Constitution that has that. I don't know the name of it, the word for it, but it can apply to religious beliefs. This abortion thing that they have done. And see, when they did this, which was really dumb of them to do this, they didn't take into the account of each individual state. They say, oh, let the states handle it. Florida is different than any other state in the 50 states. They just are. And if you read our Constitution, your mouth would drop, and how much stuff and loopholes that the state of Florida can get away with on things.
Here's another article. Excuse me. With Roe versus Wade overturned, disabled people reflect on how it will impact them. Bodily autonomy is a principle of the disability rights movement. With the overturn of Roe versus Wade, people with disabilities worry about how they will be disproportionately affected. So I don't know if you want to get into that or not.
I don't know how that would affect somebody with a disability unless that person is severely disabled to where, like I have a patient that I take care of. She is mentally unable to she cannot handle herself without somebody taking care of her. Okay? She can do things, but she's not mentally capable of handling her finances. She's not mentally capable of driving a car. She's not mentally capable of making her own medical decisions. She's aware of them. Like if you say to her, we're going to the doctor's going to see you for this. She understands that. So somebody in that case, that and it let's so happen that she would get pregnant, she would not understand. She would understand that there's a baby, and she may understand how the baby got there. She would not understand the procedure that you would have to do on her. And that's what they're referring to.
Well, the article gets into it saying that the individual they're talking about had hypermesis gravidarum, which caused her to have
Hyperkinesis Lavordian.
HYPEREMESIS GRAVIDARUM. Hypermesis gravidarum.
Hyper. I'd have to look it up.
Let me just bring it up. But apparently it's saying that she made a decision to have an abortion, so because she wasn't sure that she could support another child. So I think it's that one. Yeah.
My
I don't know if that's big or not. No, it's big. I don't know if you can
that's
see
when
it.
okay. That's when you're that men don't understand this. You guys will never understand this. Men get morning sickness. There are some women out there that have morning sickness so bad that they literally cannot eat. They can't drink. They can't even drink water. They throw it right back up. It only happens when you're pregnant. And it can last a few months or it can last the entire pregnancy. Some women have it so bad they have to have IVs throughout their whole pregnancy. And some women, it can literally kill them because they cannot eat. They can't get the nutrition that they need. And they are considered temporarily disabled because of that.
Well, it basically says she had a 4-year-old at home and she didn't know if she'd be able to raise another child, so she decided to get abortion. But when she got to the clinic, she was denied care because of her disability, which had resulted from a spinal cord injury.
Yes, because...
And she says, quote, "They're not comfortable giving me an abortion because I had a disability. My paralysis scared them. I don't know why. The disability just freaked them out. They said that I would have to go to a doctor and have it done in a hospital. So I had to go through health insurance." So.
Yeah. It's because if she is paralyzed in any point of her body, whether it's her legs or her lower back, and they made a mistake, she would not be able to tell them if, one, she dispelled the child, the baby, or she was having any symptoms of cramping or anything like that. She wouldn't be able to tell them.
It goes on to say that it would disproportionately affect those with disabilities which lead to multiple marginalized identities or who are impacted for healthcare inequity or sexual violence or poverty or loss of autonomy that they have historically experienced because they are disabled.
And that clinic was actually right for turning her away. They can lose their license. And Jim's right. The clinic did not have the expertise to help her. This is reasonable. Yes, it is very reasonable. Florida is different. Well, duh. Yeah, we're different. That's all right. Yeah, we pretty much are.
It says that she had to wait 2 additional weeks from the time she originally went to get the abortion. And when she finally got her appointment, she was sexually assaulted by the doctor during the examination, but stayed quiet because she didn't feel like she had another choice. The horror. The horror of all that.
That is I feel bad for her. That is a rarity that would happen. Because in the state of Florida, by law, there is to be a nurse and a doctor in a room with a woman at all times. It is in that patient's Bill of Rights.
Yeah, you see me shaking my head up and down in affirmation because when the male doctor looked at my wife for just her breast exam, checking her for, Was there anything new to be found? He had to have a woman in there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
she had been seeing a female before that. A female doesn't have to have another female there, but when a male is there, he has to have a woman
Yes, because of that,
because of that.
because of the patient bill of rights. Also,
Yeah.
it states in the patient bill of rights that a male doctor must have a female, female nurse in there with them, unless the patient can like basically say, I don't want this person in here. I'd feel more comfortable with just you being in here. Yeah, I think so too, Jim. I think she may have gotten the wrong impression of his examination. Yeah. Especially if she's had a child before. But for like my patient that I take care of, that's a real issue. What happens to those mentally challenged people that are married, that they're not severely mentally challenged and they can live on their own? But what happens if they get pregnant? What happens? They can take care of themselves, but they don't necessarily always understand what a doctor is going to do. I mean, there's just so many loopholes and so many. It's just.
I think this is one of those things that we maybe were searching for earlier. That's an outgrowth of this Roe versus Wade. So do we still have? Is that yes? I just have to change the screen. So.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's it. I couldn't think of the name.
Dobbs. So, what is it about Dobbs? Because that's what everybody was talking about. So, Breyer, Sotomayor, and Kagan wrote a searing dissent to the court's decision to end Roe versus Wade and overturn a constitutional right to an abortion. They were responding to Alito, who wrote the majority opinion, Thomas, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett. Quote, the Constitution does not confer a right to abortion. Roe and Casey are overruled, and the authority to regulate abortion is returned to the people at their elected representatives, end quote. That is
meaning give it back to the state. Meaning give it back to the states.
And then there's the Dobbs versus Jackson decision. The dissent vehemently disagrees and warns that other Supreme Court precedents securing, quote, settled freedoms involving bodily integrity, familial relationships, and procreation, end quote, may now be in danger, such as rulings backing contraception rights and same-sex marriage. This is what they were discussing. So the majority says, quote, the Roe decision was, quote, egregiously wrong, and on a collision course with the Constitution from the day it was decided, end quote. So.
My thing that Dobbs is the name of the current case that Jay just opened on, right? My thing about this decision that really screws things is it takes two to make a child. It takes two. Where are the men in this? Why must it be a woman's thing? It takes two to do. So if you're going to do, why does this have to be solely on the woman? You know, and a lot of this also stems, and Ken and I were talking about this, and I want to know what the chat thinks about this. A lot of this stems on what is happening over in Russia and China because of the lack, especially China, the lack of people over there. Okay, because they're dwindling with their people, and the Republicans have got it in their head that if we don't save the United States from lack of people, that we're going to be in the same space as China. And that is a lot of this. That is a lot of the reason why this is like this, why this happened like this, why they're pushing this, why the GOP is happy about this. Because in the back of their screwed up heads, which isn't true at all, that we're losing people. We're not going to have enough people. We're not going to have enough people in the United States like China does. And that's a lot of it. That is a lot of it. Go ahead, Ken.
Well, this is apparently what Dobbs is about. It says Mississippi's Gestational Age Act provides that it, quote, except in a medical emergency or in the case of severe fetal abnormality, a person shall not intentionally or knowingly perform or induce an abortion of an unborn human being if the probable gestational age of the unborn human has been determined to be greater than 15 weeks, end quote. So they're basically saying they're going to impose this 15-week rule, which is what we've been hearing over and over on the news.
Which, again, most women by 10 to 15 weeks do not know they're pregnant. They haven't missed their first period yet. Number one.
Yeah, I remember.
Number two, they don't start doing screenings on a fetus on if they have Down syndrome or they have spinal bifida or any of that. They don't start doing that until 20 weeks. It's a blood test. Or you can have amniocentesis. They don't even do that until 20 weeks. They don't do the gestational diabetes test until 20 weeks. So how are they supposed to know? How are you supposed to know anything by 15 weeks? Most women don't even know they're pregnant by 15 weeks.
To tell us about how sometimes there's women who don't really even realize they're pregnant until they give birth. And I remember there was a lady
most of the time when that happens, it's very rare. Number one, it's very, very rare. Number two, most of those women do not have regular periods, or they do not have a period at all.
And I remember there was a lady who didn't have a doctor, who had to have a doctor here because she was having her baby. So it isn't necessarily so that every woman gets health care.
Jim says there are so many ramifications of this decision that we will be tied of it lower courts for decades. Yes, this is true, Jim. And then Jim says the lower population argument is only valid if we totally eliminate immigration. Yes, that's true. However, the GOP doesn't see it like that. Because they don't recognize immigrants. They don't. Okay, they're looking at, and I'm being careful when I say this, okay? Because this is not how I believe, okay? The GOP is looking at it as the white people. There are not going to be enough white people. The GOP could care less about the browns. They could care less about the blacks. All they care about is the white people. And that's what they're looking at. Yes. The GOP wants to eliminate immigration, so this all ties together. Yes. Yes, it does. And it's pathetic, and it's nasty, and it's sad, and it's disgusting, and it's totally, 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 totally wrong. But this is Donald Trump's party. This is what he's created. And instead of thinking with their own heads and using their own minds, they're following an asshat. And this is where it's getting them. I don't know if any. Peanut, excuse me. I'm having a conversation here. Thank you. Yeah. Want some kitty love since Hal gives kitty love? This is Peanut.
Meow.
Say hi, Peanut. Say hi, Peanut. Peanut. Yeah. 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 I know. Just say hi to everybody. Hi. Okay. There you go.
Our ratings just went up.
No, you can't go there. You can't go there. Peanut is part calico, part minx, and part Siamese. That's why she's so tiny. And she's got the attitude of a Siamese cat. Yeah, look at Aaron. Kitties. Yep, that's Peanut. Peanut butter. Okay. Go on. No, don't yell at me. I'm sorry. Go on. No. No. She's yelling at me now. No. No. She's mad at me right now. Yes, she's a mutt. She is a mutt. What? Oh, you want to see Aaron? Well, Aaron can see you. There we go. There he goes. Yeah. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Aaron. Yeah. Okay, get down. No, no, no. I'm down. I'm sure one of the other ones will come up in a little bit. No, Peanut. Down. No. Get down. Down, down. Down. Nope. Thank you. A sooner cat. Yes. No. Just lay there. Good girl. She's got very, like, her eyes, like, tell you her mood. She's one of those kind of cats where her eyes tell you her mood. So she gives you that evil eye look. You know you're in trouble. What? What? No. Chip's not on. I'm sorry. He's not on. I know. I can't help it. I know. She likes Chip when he comes up on the TV. She sits in front of the TV and watches him. So, no, don't you knock that over.
Everything's still running. I'm trying to give Wes the link because Wes is saying he's having trouble. So hopefully I'm not messing up the stream by doing this.
Oh, no, no, no. You're fine. So does anybody else have any other questions or anything? Where's my shot? Jam the gate. No, Peanut, get down. Where's Bella? So is there no is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? I really wish we could get Major on because he is so on fire with this. Maybe we can start getting some people in here that we can, with it being small chat, we can actually talk to them. I didn't talk to Wes for 2 weeks because he said something like that. Aw. We get Jim. The GOP shot themselves in the foot. There will be a massive turnout in November because of this. Yes. And the other thing that's really going to, I don't think there's going to be as many people voting in November. One, because of this. Two, look at how many people sadly died because of COVID. They're not going to have enough people. Hi, guys. Nope. No worries, Les. I think that the GOP has bit their nose to spite their face. Hey, Wes got in. Hey, Wes.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I had to link through Discord that came from the computer. I have no idea why it messes up links.
Just put it down as come over to YouTube on Freedom Speech and You. I will make you up a link. I do it for Hal and John. I'll do it for you.
Yeah, it's just whatever. I mean,
do you want me to make you some?
Lynette says, aloha, have a good evening from Facebook. So either Lynette just joined us or something. So, and Wes says he got in through the computer email. It wouldn't work on his phone.
I'm sorry.
That's one thing I've noticed is that if somebody uses a phone or a mobile device and I give them a link that I created on a computer, it doesn't work once it goes through Discord. It's almost like it does something strange to it.
Then do it off of your phone.
And it might be like
do it off of your phone.
But I think it's the other way around. If the computer and I do it on the phone, it messes it up.
But don't do it off of the computer, period.
I don't know. I don't know which one messed it. I just know one of them messed it up.
You're lagging. So. You're lagging.
Me? Yeah,
yes,
my Wi-Fi is dragging. And I don't know why, because I have my phone off Wi-Fi. Usually it's when my phone's on Wi-Fi that it drags, but it's not on Wi-Fi.
Tell Lynette.
My Wi-Fi must drag for some other reason.
Lynette, Jim wants you to come to YouTube. Yay! Lynette, come to YouTube. We miss you too, Lynette. And Aaron goes, I'm at my mom's waiting for 9:30 to watch my spirit sibling perform live in New York City. Cool. So is there, what do you think we can do, or what do you think that we should do to get this Roe versus Wade thing to change? What, or can we change it? Or are we stuck at the perils of this new law? You need a higher chakra. I think that's what he's saying. And hi, Wes. Ken, you're frozen.
Yeah, I'm probably doing too much with the computer.
Lower your camera or hold your head higher. I am on an iPad, Wes. Is that better? I'm on an iPad. I don't have a computer. Actually, hang on a minute. Oh, I can't because I gotta have that on. Crap. So I don't think you guys can hear me. Is that better, Wes? Thanks, Wes. So what do you think, Jim? I sent Lynette the YouTube link. Jim sent Lynette the YouTube link. If you can hear me, Ken.
Okay.
Thank you, Wes. Yay, Lynette's on Discord. Okay. Okay, Lynette's on Discord now. So send her the link on Discord if you can, or just tell her to go to Freedom Speech and You on YouTube. Ken. Thank you. I'll get it right one of these days, guys. Well, hopefully my earbud thing will hold out because the iPad's sitting on top of it. Is no, I'm in the living room. I'm not going to that corner, Aaron. Nope, nope, nope. Jim just sent the link to you, Lynette, in Discord. No, I'm not in my kitchen. I'm in the living room, Aaron. Too much bad juju in that kitchen in that corner. So what do you think that we should do in order to change things with the Roe versus Wade? I'm a guy with no kids, so I don't have any firsthand experience with pregnancies. I think that it takes two to tango, that men need to be held with the same responsibility that women do. Why should all the weight be on a woman? It is easier for a man to get a vasectomy. It can be like if you wanted to have children, it can be reversed. A woman literally has to be cut open for it to be reversed. Yay, Lynette made it. Hi, Lynette. Increase the number of our Supreme Court justices. Now, I agree with you on that. However, Kirshner said on his podcast that that would not work. Yes. Right. From the moment you find out that you are pregnant, child support should start. I think that women has had to bear this for so long, for 50 years. Why can't the men be held accountable? There are some states where the man raped the woman. How messed up is this? I could say something else, but I didn't. How messed up is this? That a man who rapes a woman, this happened in 3 different states, raped a woman, the woman had the baby, and the woman had to pay the rapist child support. They went to court, and the judges, 3 different judges, said the woman, when the child was with this rapist, the woman had to pay the rapist child support. How effed up is that? Wes Webb says miscarriages are also a concern. Already a terrible experience, and then woman is sometimes treated as a criminal. That happened to my daughter-in-law. My daughter-in-law went to the doctor, and This is very much a wanted baby. This is very much a baby that they wanted. They knew that might possibly be their last. It took them 12 years to have children. They had 2 girls, one 6, one 1 years old. This was a total surprise, but they wanted another one. And she went to the doctor's office and she felt something wasn't right. So she went to the doctor's office. Doctor said, "You are losing the baby. We need to have you go to the hospital." She went to the hospital, Wes, and they treat, this is at the height of when DeSantis was doing this stuff for the abortion and all that. They literally quizzed her up and down, saying this was a botched abortion, this and that and the other thing. And she's like, "No, my doctor sent me here." She said she already felt bad because she knew she'd lost the baby. And now she felt this small with the questions they were asking her. Wes, you are correct. It will cause a lot of problems. It will definitely. Yes, that is effed up, Jim. Rapist has visitation rights. Yep. Happened to 3 different states. One in Wisconsin, one I think was in Ohio, and the other one was out in Arizona or somewhere like that. Yep. You've heard similar stories. Yep. And Lynette says, "Jim, understand what you are saying, being born without a choice, Baron. Just don't feel involved, although know that nobody is pro-abortion, just choice." I was very pro-life, with the exception of incest and rape. My views have changed because there's just, being in the healthcare, you just see so much. And I don't believe that abortion should be used as, and a lot of people were doing this, a lot of women were doing this, using it as a form of birth control instead of getting birth control. However, when it endangers the life of the mother, the child always, the mother is the one that needs to be saved. Yep, women are going to have to bring a lawyer with them and their doctors. Yep. Yep. Hit that like. There's 11 of you in here. Hit that like. Thank you, guys. I had to, when I was 27 years old, I had 3 children by then. My last one had a lot of complications with. I ended up having to have a hysterectomy. And I was, at the time, using Humana because that's what the hospital offered. And the hospital at the time, the insurance at the time, you had to go through a doctor to get anything done. Their doctor. They would have to approve it from the insurance doctor. The doctor would have to tell them, "I need to have this procedure done." And the insurance doctor would tell you whether or not you could have it done. And I had been having so much loss, so much blood. My iron went down to -3. And my doctor at the time said, "Screw it. I'm doing the surgery anyway. I'll deal with the insurance later." Had he listened to the insurance, okay, which goes along with this abortion thing, had he listened to the insurance, I would have not made it. And that's basically what this abortion law has done. It's the same thing. Excellent point, and thank you for helping by showing that you can change your mind on issues. It shows maturity. This is last saying this. It shows you maturity, and changing your mind is no big deal, even when you change it based on evidence and experience. Working in the medical field, you learn to change your views on a lot of things because you see a lot of stuff you don't want to see. I think in those states that are banning it, they should also ban Viagra. I agree with you, and I've heard that somewhere else too, Jim. Don't spank it. I'm not in the mood. Oh, jeez. Aaron. I believe if a woman chooses to have an abortion, it's nobody's effing business. It's a woman's body and a woman's right. Yes. Yes. And Jim says, amen, Robin. Another reason we need Medicare for all. I don't know. Can you pull up? It may not be on Twitter. It's probably on Instagram. I might have to pull it up for you. But there was a thing in there about all the other countries. And Macron said something. Trudeau said something. India, the president of India said something. All these other countries are so appalled at what the Supreme Court has done, that they uphold their rights for women to have abortions in their countries. We had a big deal in the Methodist Church now several years ago. This is West. Their insurance paid for Viagra, but not for all forms of. Yep. Well, that I don't know if any of you guys have heard that, but that is in some of these state banding, that they're thinking about banning any form of contraceptive, any form, condoms, the pill, those shots for women can get, IUDs. Yeah, it will come to that, unfortunately. You can get your Viagra. You still need to start paying for childcare before we can fill that order, sir. Yep. I was fortunate in the hospital that I worked for. They had a daycare there. My children went to that daycare. IUDs and abortion in some people's minds, yes. However, it's not. With an IUD, it doesn't get to that point of where a fetus is born. A fetus is fully developed. Yep. Aaron, that's what it's coming to. Some of these states are doing that. Aaron says, don't take away my IUD. It's the only thing keeping my PCOS under control. Some of these states are going for that, Aaron. Sorry.
So what we're looking for, because I pulled up both Twitter and Instagram and I forgot what we're looking for.
We are looking for, I might be able to pull it up. We are looking for the, and had the thing with the Macron. It may have been on one of my, hang on, I'm looking for it. It may have been on one of my, I think it was on Jessica Yellen. Or Jessica, hang on, not Jessica Yellen. I'll find it, hang on.
Okay, meanwhile, I'm going to pull up something for the audience pleasure that I just found as you search for that.
All right.
So I'm going to give the audience what they love. So hang on. So that is on there. So this is for the audience as you wait for her to find it. And it is, hang on. Let me get it to full screen and blow it up a bit more. So you should probably be able to see it possibly by now, but it's from Summer and it says, hashtag cats judging the Supreme Court because they should be. That is exactly what you needed for tonight. So that's your cat photo. We already had the live cat earlier.
Okay, go on The Guardian, and you'll come up to a thing that says world leaders condemn U.S. abortion ruling as it is a step backwards. So go under The Guardian. And it has the different tweets of all these different government officials.
You're probably going to have to do something to get that going. But
Okay, speak again.
the other thing that I can do is I'm not talking. You're hearing that from somewhere else. And
All right, I got it.
Or you're behind the curve. You're watching something that happened earlier.
I got it.
I got a big bad advertisement. Go away, big bad advertisement.
Wes Webb says IUDs are abortions on people's mind. Just keep 2 zygotes from implantation. Yep. And then a lot of these, after you do that, we'll pull up the thing on what Marjorie Taylor Greene said today. I'm tired.
Yeah, that was a loop, West.
I wanted to smack the crap out of that woman. What she said today. She is just ridiculous.
The end of constitutional protections for abortions in the United States has been described as a backwards move by world leaders and health organizations while handling a huge boost to anti-abortion groups around the world. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, the French President Emmanuel Macron, and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson all condemned the Supreme Court's overruling of the landmark Roe v. Wade decision, while New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said the decision was, quote, incredibly upsetting, end quote. Quote, watching the removal of a woman's fundamental right to make decisions over her own body is incredibly upsetting, quote, she said. She continued, here in New Zealand, we recently legislated to decriminalize abortion and treat it as a health rather than criminal issue. That change was grounded in fundamental belief that a woman's right to choose. People are absolutely entitled to have deeply held convictions on the issues, but those personal beliefs should never rob another from making their own decisions. To see that principle now lost in the United States feels like a loss for women everywhere. When there are so many issues to tackle, so many challenges that face women and girls, we need progress, not to fight the same fights and move backwards. Johnson described the ruling as a big
step backwards.
And hundreds took to the streets of London and Edinburgh to demonstrate against the decision. Oops, sorry. I just did something to my screen.
And Wes, what she said was just I literally did the smacking of the head emoji when Ron showed it. It was ridiculous. It was just it was that dumb. It was just that dumb what she said today.
Nicola Sturgeon, leader of the Scottish Nationalist Party, the third biggest party in the UK Parliament, said it was, quote, one of the darkest days for women's rights in my lifetime. This will embolden anti-abortion and anti-women forces in other countries too, end quote. So there's her tweet.
My thing is, what happens to the women that can't afford to go to another country or go to another state?
And pretty much they have to hope that there's somebody that can foot the bill for them.
And not only that, they're saying that, and there was another thing that came out that, they're going to criminally prosecute you if you take somebody across state lines. So families are going to turn on families? We're already divided enough. I mean, it just goes beyond the pale on things. It's just, it's so stupid. It's so ridiculous. It's so unneeded.
If you want to continue with the article, it said Trudeau said no government or politician or man should tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body, adding that he can't imagine the fear and anger women in the U.S. must be experiencing in the wake of the ruling. So,
those that can't afford travel will have to leave their newborns at congressional offices or church. And you know what? And that's what it will come down to. Or back in the 1920s and 30s and in the 40s, women would leave them at orphanages in a box.
In France, Macron said, he urged federal authorities to, quote, do everything possible, end quote, to ensure American women have continued access to abortions, calling it, quote, a health and survival issue, end quote, and added in a tweet that, quote, abortion is a fundamental right of all women. And the former Australian Prime Minister, Julia Gillard, called on women to keep fighting for their rights and retweeted Michelle Obama's statement, which the former First Lady said she was heartbroken about the decision. So there's Michelle Obama's. I'm heartbroken today. I'm heartbroken for people around this country who lost the fundamental right to make informed decisions about their bodies. I'm heartbroken that we may now be destined to learn the painful lessons of a time before Roe was made law of the land, a time when women risked losing their lives getting illegal abortions, a time when the government denied women control over their reproductive functions, forced them to move forward with pregnancies they didn't want, and then abandoned them once their babies were born. That is what our mothers and grandmothers and great-grandmothers lived through, and now here we are again. She continued. So yes, I'm heartbroken for the teenage girl full of zest and promise who won't be able to finish school or live the life she wants because her state controls her reproductive decisions. For the mother of a non-viable pregnancy is now forced to bring that pregnancy to term. For the parents watching their child's future evaporate before their very eyes. For the healthcare workers who can no longer help them without risking jail time. When we don't understand our history, we are doomed to repeat its mistakes. In this country, our futures are tied together in a delicate tapestry that we each have a hand in making. Too often, cynicism or indifference makes us feel like we don't have a say in weaving it, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The more we allow pessimism to push us further into helplessness, the less we will be empowered to help create the kind of country we want to live in. This horrifying decision will have devastating circumstances, and it must be a wake-up call, especially to the young people who will bear its burden. I know this is not the future you choose for your generation, but if you give up now, you will inherit a country that does not resemble you or any of the values you believe in.
No.
This moment is difficult, but our story does not end here. I may not feel like we are able to do much now, but we can and we must. If you're like me, you want to get started right now. I encourage you to channel your frustration and anger into action by getting involved. Operations like Planned Parenthood and the United States of Women, among many others, have resources you can look for if you want to help others or if you need help yourselves. Our hearts may be broken today, but tomorrow we'll got to get up and find courage to keep working. It looks like it cuts the rest of that off, but you get the gist of it. I'm not going to try to say this name. Head of the World Health Organization said on Twitter that he was concerned and disappointed by the ruling and it reduced both women's rights and access to health care. UN agency dealing with sexual reproductive health said that whether or not abortion was legal, it happens all too often, and global data show that restricting access made abortion more deadly. And there's just more statistics in there. 45% of all abortions around the world are unsafe, making this a leading cause of maternal death. So just not good at all. An activist said the court's overturning of this decision, quote, shows that these types of rights are always at risk of being steamrolled, end quote. But anti-abortion activists are cheering the ruling, saying there's justice again in the world and we're going to achieve this in Argentina too. So,
Which is along the lines of what Jim just said.
Yep, it'll go around the world.
Yep.
So
some of our southern states will have maternal mortality rates rivaling impoverished African countries. Yep.
So what were you talking about earlier, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and something she said most recently?
I think Ron Filipkowski showed it on Twitter, but oh my gosh, she's so dumb. Oh, she's one of those that I have a hard time with her. Over the fact that she's just so dumb. She's just there's no common sense, nothing. There's nothing up there. Hopefully there will be enough activity between now and election to keep people's minds on the issue. They say that Dems never voted for abortion even when it was an issue. Very true. Excuse me. Very true. And one thing we have going for us is Stacey Abrams. Hopefully she will win. I'm hoping. Did you find it?
It takes a while to scroll through. I don't want to zoom right past it, so I'm going. I'm only 2 hours back, so he probably put it on earlier today.
Yeah, it was on. I'll get it for you.
Be glad I'm not live scrolling, so you don't have to see all these people you don't want to see any more of. You can just tell me like how many hours back it is.
All right, hang on.
I should have probably just perused your Twitter because you probably retweeted it, but whatever.
Whoa, I hope. Oh, no, that was back in. Never mind. What?
Oh, you have to see this. This has to be put up. This is really good. This is just something that's in there. Hang on. You'll get a kick out of this. This had to be put up tonight. Attention Trump rally attendees. Donald Trump's own daughter, Ivanka, admitted the 2020 election was not stolen. And it continues.
Was that at the Trump rally? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Maybe it's
That's
time you do
hilarious.
too. It's posted by the Good Liars. Put up some signs at the Trump rally today reminding people that Ivanka said Trump said the 2020 election wasn't stolen. We're just trying to help. Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Let me take it back down so that you don't like to have this like see Rudy or something, because some of the earlier stuff I was running through was Rudy Giuliani, this and that.
All right. These are some of the things while I'm looking for. These are some of the things that Ron DeSantis refuses to. Defend Trump on January 6th, ask for Trump's endorsement, open up a Truth Social account, say whether, which we talked about this earlier, say whether he will propose a bill to outlaw abortion in Florida, talk about affordable housing crisis. And right before that, it must have been on Majors. Hang on. I bet you it was on Majors. Oh, I know where it was. It was on Marjorie Taylor Greene. What the heck?
You have to see this. This is hilarious. This is hilarious.
Oh yeah, and Ron said it was not edited or photoshopped.
Trying to lift a weight or something.
This was from yesterday's rally. That's funny.
Oh, hilarious.
Oh, I can't find it now. But she's doing her little podcast thing. And because I said something about it. I said something about it. Maybe I can find it on mine. But what she said was way out of line. Way, way out of line. Oh, here it was. It was yesterday. One of the most important things a Republican controlled Congress must do to bring oversight and accountability to the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice must resign, and the two-tier justice system has to be dismantled. Two-tier justice system? And I said to her, which I almost got flagged for, is, and you are dumb. That is why we have three branches of government. Read the Constitution.
Oh, here's another one of hers too. So here's another one where she's thinking something, saying that
It,
children should be given firearms.
oh, she's so dumb. Oh man, it's pouring outside. Oh, great.
Let me get the sound up on this. Where does this sound here? Hang on.
Unfortunately.
Sorry. Let me stop it. I'll stop it. I'll bring it back to the beginning. I put the sound up.
And I also feel that, if my children are in school and a madman with a gun comes to a school to kill people, unfortunately, a psychologist is not going to be able to just talk him out of it. That is not a good way to protect kids. But again, we enjoy.
Do you think the students should be armed?
I think children should be trained with firearms. I definitely do. I think that's very important so that they understand.
So they could repel someone who comes in.
My goodness.
Wow.
She is dumb.
Wow.
She is dumb.
I wish I could find the one that I was talking about. I don't remember who it was. Who showed it. But she said something equally as stupid. But it had to do with the abortions. And it was on like her podcast thing that she does. And I don't remember who it was that had it. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, guys. Sorry,
Well,
chat.
here's probably another one of her dumb remarks. So let's just see what she says here because I haven't pre-played it. So hang on. What is it's like I double clicked it. Okay.
I just found something that said, you're quoted as saying in talking to Real America's Voice, that whereas January 6th was just a riot at the Capitol, and if you think what our Declaration of Independence says, it says to overthrow tyrants. So do you think that the assault on the Capitol was a legitimate exercise of popular insurrection?
Oh, Mr. Raskins, I know it's early in the morning, but this is the Rules Committee. This isn't your Trump derangement committee that you call the January 6th committee.
My last name doesn't have an S on it, Ms.
Oh,
Greens.
I apologize.
Okay.
Mr. Raskin.
Okay, you've been talking about the Second Amendment. You came here to talk to us about the Second Amendment, right?
I'm here to talk
And so-
about due process rights and protecting Americans'
Okay.
due process rights.
All
Yes.
right, so I just want to be clear. You've been quoted at least as saying that the January 6th riot at the Capitol was in the spirit of the Declaration of Independence, which says you can overthrow tyrants. You've also testified that people have a right to carry guns, presumably wherever they want to go. So it seems to me that lots of people were armed on that day, but the logic of your argument is that everybody could have been armed and brought their weapons with them. And I'll take that
What
as a
evidence?
conclusion.
What evidence do you have that a lot of people were armed that day,
Oh,
Mr. Raskin? Do you have that to introduce into the
just
record?
wait for it. But when it comes out, presumably you'll be supporting it, right? That they would have a right to have guns and knives with them. Is that right?
Mr. Raskin.
Is that your position?
No, Mr. Raskin.
No, I'm
again,
going to ask
I
the
think-
questions here because this
I
is the
think- I
Rules
think
Committee.
you've-
You're not a member of the Rules Committee, Ms. Green. Are you?
I'm a
Are you a
witness.
member of the Rules Committee?
I'm a witness here at the Rules
Okay, so I'm
Committee
asking, let me just ask you a
that is
question.
talking about due process rights, not your lies about January 6th, about President Trump and others.
Okay, I never mentioned him. You've brought him up. All right, I just found something that said,
Wow.
you're quoted as saying in talking to Real America's Voice.
Sorry, I repeated it.
Yeah, it's
But
okay.
that is something else.
So Wes says, my sister lives in Georgia, a retired attorney, and she offered to volunteer her services for the Abrams campaign. They were really more interested in giving her a large donation. Disclaimer, Aaron put a heart by it. I'm sure those signs didn't stay up long. And I don't know what Jim's referring to. There was a large clothing sign written on the overpass near Quincy that said "Lock him up." Oh, the sign. Oh, I see the signs that were on the post. Rally was an open farm field. Since crops already were growing, means the owner was probably dead, probably COVID. Well, we don't know that. So good night, Aaron. That impression of
Good
a
night,
baby.
Aaron.
That's an impression of a baby being born. He's indeed a clown. He's gotten in my gym. Hey, Connie! Connie Kelly's here. Miller's campaign is fiercely trying to walk back her comments on the Trump's contributions to the white life. All the media, blue counties are going nuts with it. Oh, I bet. Looked like he was trying to do an overhead barbell lift. I don't know what he was trying to do. Trump. Yes, 3 branches of government, West Webb. I've already been blocked from her on Twitter. My boss wants to transfer. This is Connie saying, Jim, I was surprised. I almost got blocked today because I called her dumb. And Twitter wanted me to rephrase it. And I said, no, I'm not rephrasing it. So I may be banned. Connie says, my boss wants to transfer me to London or at least Vancouver, British Columbia, because he is sure that there is a hot civil war coming. I think a lot of people feel that way too, Connie. A lot of people do. We had big rain yesterday in Rockford, Illinois. Yeah, Illinois, Missouri, and Ohio have been getting hit hard with weather. I love Victoria. I love Montreal and Quebec. London is crowded and extremely expensive. Yes. Connie says, I was trained with guns. By the time I was 7, my cousin and I broke the lock on the gun case and went shooting. We got the living daylights beat out of us when my uncle found out.
So here's something interesting on Ron's tweets. This is an actual vehicle found in Florida from the same party that tells you that they care about life. There's this.
Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? You know what that's in reference to?
Anybody that protests Black Lives Matter
on
or
the
anything of that
news.
sort.
No. This happened yesterday. On the news, there were a bunch of pro-life protesters and a guy in a Ford pickup truck, some kind of pickup truck, went over and ran over 2 people. Killed the one. That's what that's in reference to.
I thought
It was on the news
I
this
thought
morning.
it was. I looked at it and I thought it was, otherwise. I thought that this was talking about Black Lives Matter protesters and running them over.
That truck sign merits a busted window. Yep. But that actually did happen. I saw it on the news last night. They had it on the local news and they showed it. Yeah. Somewhere up north, and they were protesting, and this big truck, it was like a big dually truck, went right through them and killed one person and seriously injured the other one. Chicago is fairly safe. It's a blue island, Connie says. I got to bounce. Much love to you all. Thank you so much,
Well,
Robin.
here's another one where she says, according to Ron, speaking before the Rules Committee today against red flag laws, Marge Green says there's no point to restricting guns since people murdered each other before guns were invented.
What?
Hang on.
Repeat that. Repeat that.
Hang on. I'll let you listen to her own actual words. Okay, so that's up. Hang on, here we go.
I think the reality that we all have to recognize, we have to live with, is that there's nothing that any of us can do. There's no law that we can create that can change the heart and the mind of another human. See, people have been killing other people since the beginning of time, and this was long before guns were ever invented. And it will continue to go on in places where people don't have guns to defend themselves. Murders still exist. I think the reality.
Do you want to hear that again, or you're good?
No, I'm good. It's just what's she mean with clubs and bayonets?
She's
Is
just
that what
basically
you're
saying
referring to?
that we shouldn't ban guns because people have killed each other with things before guns were invented. So she's saying there's no reason to stop people with killing each other more effectively with guns because they killed them.
Does she realize guns weren't being?
Guns are what made it possible for weak people to kill other people. As long as they can pick up a gun, they can kill somebody.
Let's just go around taking a bow and arrow and shooting it at everybody. Are you freaking kidding me?
I don't know. I think she must have
Oh
been.
my gosh.
I think she must have been conceived, warning sarcasm ahead. I think she must have been conceived when somebody accidentally split a bullet and got some gunpowder involved in the process.
She's dumber than a box of
It's
rocks.
really dumb.
There are crazy people all over, Connie says, in the world. In the U.S., they have guns. I wander all over Europe and never feel like I have to look over my shoulder. Jim the Geek says, we can't stop people from killing each other, so even try the large march. Yep. Wes says, we had a whole service this morning dedicated to civil rights and social freedom. Nobody was backing Trump vocally. I'm sure that some older folks do.
Now I want to ask you: Did Hal show the one where she takes on the choice protesters? Did he show that one the other night?
No, I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
Okay. So there's this one.
Can't hear what she's saying, but Marge doesn't exactly get a warm reception. Wow. And those were pro-choice people. Wow.
She's a dum-dum, for sure.
Well, you know,
those poor people who had to protect her, who are getting beat up while people are trying to get to her.
What gets me is it's just going to get worse because people like her, people like Trump, people around Trump, they all went to the same school, the Trump University of Stupidity. There's no common sense. There's blank up there. It's ridiculous. And it's only going to get worse. Now they feel emboldened because of this. She reminds me of my little older sister. Although my older sister is a liberal, she is just always pretending that things don't bother her. Her bodyguards probably.
So here's one of her tweets where she goes, quote, saying I heard means you don't know. Spreading gossip and lies is exactly what the January 6th witch hunt committee is all about. So she's not believing in this, whatever this is. And it probably doesn't have any content. So
no,
it's probably a screenshot with it.
Many because, don't like Trump.
Yeah,
exactly, Connie. He is a means to an end. Yep. What gets me, okay, is the argument that they get that it's a big lie. There's video. The insurrectionists videotaped themselves inside the Capitol. They videotaped themselves inside the Capitol. I mean, can't get much more evidence than that. I mean, come on. Well, how can you deny that? They held their cameras up. They did their selfies. What's that big tall guy? What they call him, the shaman? He had a picture taken him with his legs propped up on Pelosi's desk. Are you kidding me? There is no evidence that this is a witch hunt and it's all a lie. Okay.
Uh,
The wife of Supreme Court Justice paid for their buses. Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that, Wes. My thing is, and how many of you agree in the chat? Okay. And is it a witch hunt unless you actually find witches? This is true, Connie. This is true. How many of you, okay, and you'll hear the puppies because I just was loud, but how many of you agree with, excuse me, how many of you agree with the fact that on the January 6th committee, they had said in these text messages, okay, that it all lended to Trump. However, the don't start, Ken. Don't start.
I'm not reacting to you. I'm reacting to something else that I'm seeing.
That
I'm reacting to this because I'm still scrolling.
okay, hang on a second. That when then Connie's going where I was going to go. That between the ties between the January 6th and the New York and the Georgia and the Pennsylvania are all going to tie together to the money and to Trump. And it's going to be something that these Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert people can't deny.
No, I was not listening. I'm sorry, and I was reacting to this
I'm
because
not
I was
saying
still
it again.
scrolling through Ron's tweets looking for this, and I came across this.
Well, Biden is so clueless, John, about any of the simple solutions, and it's common sense solutions that just need to be applied. From day one, when he got elected, his administration kicked off, he undid all the good things that President Trump had done. And President Trump, he had just applied to common sense in how to.
She can go back under her rock.
Really, literally, yes. Russia,
did you
could do us a
find the
favor,
one?
Russia, please.
Did you find? Did you find the one that the what is her name? I call her the blonde. I call her the blonde Palin. Blackburn, is that her name? She's a senator or a representative. It will all tie back to Trump, but the GOP will still deny it. Yes, yes. But there's going to be so much evidence. I think between the January 6th is going to tie into the New York, is going to tie into the Pennsylvania, it's going to tie into the Georgia. Same as what happened in Canada. There was an illegal GoFundMe conspiracy going on. Nobody was charged. See, and that's what I'm thinking, Wes. Sorry. On the end of, on what Wes is saying, on the end of Garland. who is in charge on January 6th, if not Trump? Trump, and if you ever listen, if and I know a lot of people do not like him, please, 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 please listen to Michael Cohen. He is on the Midas Touch Network. He has his own podcast, but it's backed up by Midas Touch. Listen to him. The one key thing that he presents in every single podcast and everything that Trump does, he is fully engaged and he is fully in charge. He knows what's going on in every aspect of every area of his life. He knew what was going on at Trump Tower. He knew who was coming in, who was leaving. He knew who was going to come in and who wasn't going to leave. He goes, I can tell you 100%, and Michael Cohen has said this several times, I can tell you 100%. He knew who was coming into that White House, who was leaving that White House, who he had talked to on the phone, and who he didn't talk to on that phone. He always had full control.
So you want a preview of what probably Hal is going to talk about next? Let's see. Oh, I didn't bring it in. Shoot. Hang on.
The less crazy GOP folks are trying to steer them towards DeSantis or Haley. The really crazy ones are going for Pence. What do you guys think about Pence in this whole situation with the J6? Because I think it was Ron Filipkowski or maybe it was Major that said he's going to run. Hal said he was going to do the Trump rally. Yes, he said he was, but I don't know if he's doing it Monday or what. He didn't say when. He didn't let me know when. Go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it now. Give me a second. I wasn't clicking on the
We
right
believe
thing.
that every precious child is born and unborn is the sacred gift from God. We also had a great victory in the United States Supreme Court 2 days ago for supporters of a thing called the Second Amendment. Has anyone ever heard of the Second Amendment? I told you when I started my campaign that I will protect the Second Amendment, and nobody has protected it like me. And I especially want to commend the justices for standing strong in the face of outrageous threats and even violence. You've been seeing what's been going on. There's never been a time like this. The left-wing campaign of terror directed at the Supreme Court in recent months is unlike anything in the history of our country. The attempted assassination of Justice Kavanaugh, the illegal intimidation of justices' homes, and the radical left's violent terrorist attacks on pro-life centers were a frontal assault on our republic. That's what they should be investigating. This was an organized and concentrated effort to threaten the court and interfere with its decisions. But the justices stood their ground against these extremists and these terrorists, and they did not back down. Congratulations and thank you.
So that's pretty much the first thing he talked about, and so we'll see the rest on how, because I'm not going to belabor all of that tonight, but
Dang it.
yeah, just a quick preview.
There have to be one or two, not many. No, there's not many. Connie says, again, Pence is uber conservative and has set himself up for murder for good Republicans. And I responded, what good Republicans are left, Kelly? And then I said, I think his wife, Carrot, a.k.a. Karen, plays a lot in what he does. And Connie said, there have to be one or two, not many. No, there's not many. Yeah, I don't think there's, I don't think in why most normal, rational people who president tried to kill them would try and even think about running for president, let alone wanting to get back out there in that political sphere. You almost got killed. There were gallows built. Why? Why would you do that? Pence is trying to appeal to the religious right. I don't think there's any more religious right left. I honestly don't. I think they're zealous, crazy right. I don't think they're religious anymore. I think I might still be a Republican, or at least I believe we need a second party. A lot of people have said that the Republican Party needs to be split in two. I've heard that a few times, Wes. But then again, wouldn't they just move to independent? Do we actually need a switch from a two-party system to a three-party system? I mean, is that going to create more problems? Or would that solve anything? I mean, I know people that have switched from Republican to independent. Oh no. Oh no. Jim, they timed you out for that? Jim just said, I'm on Discord. He said, I'm in a 12-hour Twitter timeout for tweeting this. Tommy Laharan, you are such a clueless bimbo with a clown sign. Wow. Wow.
Look at what's on her Twitter here. They put this thing up here. This tweet violated Twitter rules about hateful conduct. However, Twitter has determined that it may be in the public's interest for the tweet to remain accessible. And when you click on it and open it up, it says, quote, I'm calling for the impeachment of Dr. Rachel Levine, known most of his life as Richard. Drugs preventing puberty and genital mutilation is not life-saving care. It's abuse. It's child abuse and extremely dangerous. Leave children alone. Let them grow up safely. Impeach Levine. And she's talking about this. Biden's Assistant Secretary for Health, Rachel Levine, says reassignment surgery and puberty blockers for kids is life-saving, medically necessary, age-appropriate, and a critical tool. So she's really getting into it.
Wow. What's what? U.S. is HTE on country with mediocre bankruptcies. And West said rural states ignored under the Democratic totalitarian state, even if all the people are always allowed to decide. And then Jim says, referring to what I saw on Discord, says, I guess Tom Laharan has thin skin. I don't know, Tommy Laharan has thin skin. I don't know who he is. Or she is. He is. You're wrong about rural states, Wes. I think, well, I mean, come on. Trump's doing his rallies basically in rural states because he can't afford to go anywhere else. What gets me mad is these people are, a lot of them are uneducated. A lot of them do not totally get politics anyway, and they are being duped by Trump, which is sad. I'm sorry, it's sad. They're being very duped by Trump. We should have a GoFundMe to relocate Dems to red states and slowly take over. Start with them, with the least populated, and move people in. Trump doesn't have the balls to come to Chicago. No, he probably doesn't. Even Chicago ignores downstate and does their best to concentrate their power. Tomi Laharin is one of those bottle blonde GOP girlies. I'm not sure why she's famous. Never heard of her. Sorry about the puppies barking. They're playing. Suckers! What are you doing? Come here. Come here and say hi. Come here. Not everybody got to see you guys. Come here. Come here. Connie didn't get to see my baby a little bit ago. Connie Kelly. She's mad at me. I woke her up. Connie. Yeah, it's Peanut. Her name is Peanut, Connie. Oh, you want to come back and see everybody? Okay. Here we go. Come here. You should do it. Who's your sister? Who's your sister? Here we go. Here we go. She was talking earlier. Testosterone might make you brave, but it also makes you crazy. I do German Shepherds when you live alone. They're great. Yep. I don't know if you guys can hear the puppies barking, but I've got 2 Chihuahuas in there. And she loves Chip. She loves when I have the TV on and I have Hal on. She likes Chip. I don't think she's seen Chud yet. But she likes Chip. She sits there and watches him. She likes him. I don't think she's seen Chud. She definitely likes Chip. She's about 3 years old. 3 years old now. She was talking earlier. We had a Chihuahua Manchester Terrier accidental mix. He was the sweetest little dog. These two are rescues. Their mom died. They're about 10 weeks old now, and they had a rough start. They're very vocal, which, from what I understand, Chihuahuas are, and they are. One's named Peppa and one's named Sandy, Sandy's a he. They're named after their dad and their mom. Hey y'all, checking out for now. Have a good night. Catch you at Hal's. All right, good night, Jim.
Bye, Jim.
Thank you for coming. I once had a cat named Valentine Michael Smith, but my allergies were awful. He wanted to sleep on my face. Oh, I had a cat like that named Samantha when I was a kid. She would lay up on my head and put her tail across my face. But she's a good. All of my cats are rescues. 5 of them are foster fields. One of them is not. I'm working on him, getting him outside. Him and his sister were in a hoarding case, and they have a lot of anxiety. So I'm working on him. Val was a Martian kitten. Aw, those are rare, Connie. Those are very rare. My dad has a Hemingway cat. And those are very rare. They've got 6 toes, six little paws. on them, and they're rare. I'd show you the other ones, but none of the other ones want to come up right now. I have some sort of problem. I have the same sort of problem. If the people keep their house clean, cats don't bother me. But if they have been allowed in my bedroom, I can't tolerate it. Have you read Stranger in a Strange Land? I have heard it, but I have not read it yet. I've heard about it, but I have not read it. I heard it was good. And yes, my hair is way longer than Hal's, and he will never catch up. Although he's getting there. Heinlein or something. Oh, come on, get down.
I've been digging and digging and digging, trying to find that Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I keep finding other things that are interesting by digging.
The one that they must have taken it down.
So this is a little interesting tidbit that is worth showing.
Is that what's that?
Little piece of history of something that was said, and give me a second to bring it full screen.
Okay, come here.
And
Come on.
hopefully it's at
Not
the beginning.
you.
Now is the audio up? Okay, the audio is up.
We will make sure that when a kid is in the womb, they're as safe as they are in a classroom, the workplace, a nursing home, because every stage of life has value. No one greater than the other. We will make.
How about that, huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
She is
the
full
freaking
of,
irony of it all.
She is full of shit. Hey, Kinky. Come
The
here.
freaking irony of it all.
Come here. Come on. Come here. Really?
Was it
Really
red? Was it red flag that you were trying to get Marjorie Taylor Greene on?
No. No, it was
Okay.
on what she was talking about, the abortion thing, not the red flag thing. Hey, come here, dum-dum. Come here. Come here. They want to see you, Glitter. Glitter. Come on. Come on. Come here. Oh, bro. Nope. She don't want to get got. I have even read Diane X. Ooh, Webb. Really, Wes. So how are we going to shoot kids in the womb? She was the reference, I think, was to the one mother that was at that concert, and the one woman was shot in the womb. Yeah, I think that was the reference. That was back when they had that big country and western concert. It was in Las Vegas, and they had that mass shooting. And one of them was a woman that was pregnant.
And I think that this one deserves to be played as well. So hang on, let me get this.
Oh
one
yeah, Ron
full
showed this
screen.
one.
President Trump, on behalf of all the MAGA patriots in America, I want to thank you for the historic victory for life in the Supreme Court yesterday. President.
White life.
White life. Yeah,
Wow.
She said white life.
Wow.
Of course, she'll say that she just slipped up and said white instead of life, but wow.
I will be late for
But
House
you know,
Call
it's
because
theorized that that's what it's about.
well, he's doing the morning show, Connie. So if you miss it, it's not like super. It's the morning show. That's the clip mentioned. Chicago is going crazy. Her staff is trying to walk it back. Yeah. Yep. I bet they are. And that goes again, what I was saying, which you weren't here for, is the GOP does not want anybody but whites. They want this to be a white country. I don't care how you slice it. This is not how I believe. This is not how I was brought up. But this is what they want. They want this country to be nothing but whites. And that kind of proves it right there. That was not a slip. It was not a
Well,
slip.
it's either that or they want to make sure that whites are majority again, which they're
Right.
not.
Right. But if Trump is very, he can say what he wants, but he has said it in previous interviews back in the 70s, in the 80s. He is a racist. He is. And he has said that. He has said that. So, you know, people don't remember that stuff. They don't pay attention to all that stuff. Which, you know, it's never going to happen. If you want to be like that, go move to Russia. Go move to Russia. It's very, very backwards. It's very, very sad. And it angers me that we are not standing up to it. Maggie Green cannot last forever. No, she can't, but she's like Trump. She's going to stir up as much garbage as she can before it's all said and
Okay,
done.
so we mentioned the truck earlier. So this
Mhm.
says that here's a truck running over pro-abortion rights activists.
Oh, it was pro-abortion.
Don't do that.
Yeah, one died and one was hospitalized. Yeah.
So
Oh, did you pull up the clip from what Liz Cheney said about the J6? Oh no, about the SCOTUS. That's another one we should play. I'm very upset. I like Liz Cheney. I really like her a lot, but she shouldn't have said anything. She just shouldn't have. I remember Watergate, and a lot of GOP denied it until Nixon got on the plane. Yep. Although I felt the same way about Dick Cheney. I just think it's very. What gets me is that the Republican Party never used to be like this. And we worked so well together in whatever House and the Senate. Ooh, excuse me, in the House and the Senate. And we worked together as bipartisan. And now we're lucky we got this gun thing done. I mean, it just blows my mind that politics has taken such a turn.
Oh, my brother, don't you
Sorry, there's an
worry
advertising.
about me. Don't you worry, don't you?
I'll pull this sound down till the advertising's over. Because who knows about that music? We might get a copyright strike on that. And of course, now it won't play. silly thing.
I have always
doesn't-
been strongly pro-life. Today's ruling by the Supreme Court returns power to the states and the people.
Unfortunately, it simply gives the states the right to make the decision. And if you don't like your state banning it, go and vote for other people to go into the state legislature. What do you say to her?
I say we should not live in a country where some states we are free and equal, and other states we are not. That is why we need the federal protection.
Sorry, it's kind of
That
lagging.
is why we need to have a guarantee that regardless of what state we live in, we are not living in a place that is going to tell us what to do with our own bodies and our lives. No state in the union is this popular, right? Is it popular for politicians and lawmakers to be making personal decisions about ourselves? Yeah. This is not about states' rights. This is about power and control, right? This is about lawmakers telling us that they believe they can make a better decision about our bodies than we can. This is about justices who lied about their respect for precedent to get on the Supreme Court. Yep. That's what we should be concerned about. And I agree with her. We do need to have people voting and engaged and enraged, voting everyone. No one can be neutral on this issue. That is what we need to be doing right now. But I don't want to live in a country where, you know, in one state I'm free, in another state I am being held hostage by my state. That's unacceptable, and every American should believe that.
Okay, I'm going to take that down. I think that's over with too, and hopefully we don't get a copyright strike for airing that from CNN. But yeah,
Connie, since you've been in politics and you've been in on many different levels, this thing that they're trying to get the president to do, what is it called, Ken? They're trying to get the president to do this for the abortion. Since he can't turn it over with SCOTUS. There's something that he can do. What is it called, Connie? And how available is the president able to do that? They mentioned it a little bit in that clip, but I didn't catch what it was. The only solution is to make the USA true democracy. We are a democracy, Ginky.
Well, there's an article from March 6th, so I don't know if that gets into it, but
pack the court or allow abortions on federal properties. Yeah, but there was something that they said that the president can do, Connie, that I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about. There was something that they said that the president could do because he can't do anything about SCOTUS because now it's law, but he can alleviate some things.
Well, this article from May 6th says he could increase medication to, induce abortion.
No, this had to do with something that he can do to kind of stop it, or not stop it, but
one of the things you mentioned earlier, he could allow clinics to establish themselves on federal land because federal land can't be regulated by the state. So if he put the abortion clinic on federal land, they couldn't do anything about it. So basically, if you put the abortion clinics in an Indian reservation, which is federal land or whatever, something like that, or at a park, a park or something like that, then yeah, you could keep them from regulating, because if it's on federal property, they can't regulate it.
Okay, hang on.
Hey, SSB 28. You don't know how you got here, but you're here. You must have wandered through YouTube and just kind of ended a video and ended up here, or else you searched for something and ended up here? We're just discussing politics. This is Freedom Speech and You, and we discuss politics based on what people put in chat. So we're discussing abortion rights right now. He can enforce Medicaid coverage in states that try to implement outright bans. Medicaid coverage.
Oh, okay. Here it comes. The president is taking steps on Friday. The president said he would take steps in directing the Department of Health and Human Services to take steps to defend access to certain medications such as contraceptive and mifepristone, one of the pills used to induce a medication abortion. Biden said he's directing his HHS to take steps to ensure these critical medications are available to the fullest extent possible, and that politicians cannot interfere with a decision that should be made between a woman and a doctor. Also, eliminating barriers to access to medication abortion. Behind the scenes, Biden has been considering taking steps to challenge state laws that criminalize out-of-state travel and receive an abortion, according to people familiar with discussions. So what they're probably, and what I'm thinking that they're going to do, and Connie could probably allude to it a little bit more, is, you know how you can't take a child across state lines? It's a federal offense. I think that what he's planning on trying to do is make it to where you can't prosecute somebody for going across state lines for a medical issue. That kind of thing. I think the court should be expanded to 13 so there are justices reasonable for each circuit. DC has one, and I think the 9th court and 7 justices handle the 11th. You can't prohibit travel to get an abortion. It would be a violation of the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. Are you? Yes, I'm referring to the Mann Act. Yes, that's what it is. That's what it is, Connie. What is the Mann Act? That's what I was trying to figure out. Good night, Kinky. I'm ignored about what a democracy is. The U.S. is a republic, not a democracy. It is a democracy, Kinky. Do you all agree with the SSB 28? Do you all agree with the decision? The decision for the
Roe versus
SCOTUS?
Wade? No.
Nobody does SSB 28. Nobody agrees with it. The Mann Act prohibits men from taking women across state lines for prostitution. But what I'm referring to is there's something that they had said that the president can do, since he can't change what SCOTUS did. There are things that he can do to prevent some of these states from doing what they're doing. My older choir director up in Minnesota, so visit dear friends, 40 years older than I, but some people said it was illegal to take her across state lines. For prostitutions. In a democracy, people would have direct votes. We vote for representatives who vote for registration.
Yeah, it says it's designed to stop prostitution, immorality, and human trafficking. But in
I will.
in some previous cases, it was used to even criminalize consensual sexual behavior between adults. It was amended by Congress in 78 and 1986 to limit its application to the transport for the purpose of prostitution or other illegal sexual acts. So I
Yeah,
guess in some states, it might have been used to arrest somebody because the sheriff didn't like somebody taking his daughter across state lines or something.
the Mann Act was a big deal in the 50s, Connie says. I'll have to look this up, but I know for a fact that they said something about the fact that since the president couldn't do anything about the SCOTUS decision, there are things that he can do to keep some of these states from banning women to get abortions. There was a term for it, and I can't think of what the term is. Yes, Wes.
Well,
Connie is very
let
smart.
me put
She's very, very
the
smart.
Mann Act and Joe Biden together in search. And put in June 2022 to help refine the search.
Some people, Wes says, some people think that the Mann Act made it illegal to take anyone unrelated across state lines. America is SSB 28 says America is a constitutional republic.
That's the Republican definition.
I wish I could, Wes. I wish I could go. I think good start would be to cut federal aid to red states. This is Connie saying this. I think it would be a good to cut federal aid to red states, which get a proportionate portion of the funds. Can the president do that? Withhold funds to states?
But you think about that, she's exactly right, because North Carolina gets more money back than they put in.
Didn't Trump do that? Or tried to do that?
Well, Trump would have taken it away from blue states.
Right.
But blue states are already receive disproportionate amounts of taxes. There's more money going to places like North Carolina than North Carolina is paying in.
But
the income tax in places like
is,
New York and California does not go back to those states. More of it goes to North Carolina than goes to those states.
Right. But what I'm saying is, can a president do that? Can a president keep funding from states?
If there's something that he is uniquely under the control of, like if it's under his cabinet and it's how his cabinet spends money, for instance, like if it's the way that his cabinet spends money and they have to do things, you know.
Connie says he can direct agencies to redo their formality for giving out money. Connie says all that hurricane relief to Texas, Florida, etc.
The problem with what SSB 28 is suggesting is when you start seceding from the country, then you're basically saying, okay, you're a state all by yourself, and now you don't have the federal government protecting you from
which is what Texas, and I think that's what Texas wants to do, or they're trying to. Problem is SSB, when you do that, you do not get any funding from the government at all. So like when that frozen stuff happened in Texas and nobody had heat, and all of that happened. If that would happen again, Texas seceded from the Union, the government could not help them at all. They would not help them at all. They would be their own entities,
Wes,
their own states, and they'd have to take care of it on their own. They would not get help from the government.
Wes says exactly what I would say. No, we would be punishing the people to hurt their governments.
Yes.
Because just because you say
Unless
quote unquote state is a red state, not everybody in that state's a red
right.
voter.
Most rural people think that they could survive on their own without cities. That is true. And I will be right back. Hang on.
So I think an animal needed to go out is what happened there. And so that's one of those things. So how are you all doing tonight? Everybody's still on YouTube. We still have one on Twitch who's probably sleeping back there. Cities cannot survive without food. Yeah, that would be another problem, Wes, is that they would not get the things that they need. Because they would, if they become an island, so to speak, unto themselves, how would they get whatever? Squeaky animal. I'm tickled to finally find this. Yeah, this is the best kept secret, you know, this show. We have a few people who come here every week and watch, but, you know, here we are, you know. So Connie says, since most doctors are in cities, disease would take over rural areas. SSB 28 says, yeah, but can't other countries
Sorry about
help
that.
a state which succeeded?
Sorry about that. I had to get a cat out of a closet.
Okay.
If Texas, Connie says, if Texas wanted to leave, I think we should close all the military bases in Texas and pull that funding. Yep, I agree. Cities cannot survive without food. True. But if Texas is going to be that stupid, then they better learn how to grow food. They better learn how to do it real quick. Wow, you have a grand piano. You have a grand piano, Ken.
Everybody always keeps saying that, but it's not really true. I mean, it's a trick of the thing, you know. And you know, every once in a while I just sort of, you know, get rid of it so people realize that this is what's really there, because this is what's really there if I get rid of it. So
I just have.
But it's more interesting to look at the other way. But I'll leave it down because if I put it back up, it'll take, you know, time to work its way back into the scene, and that'll just slow things down. So yeah, this is what the wall really looks like. So
Military is one of the biggest employers of Texas. Yep. So, you know, one of the biggest
background
things.
is the TARDIS.
One of the big, I love the TARDIS. I love Doctor Who. One of the biggest things, excuse me, one of the biggest things is that people in Texas don't, and I've heard this from many people in Texas, and friends of mine that live in Alvaline have said, a lot of the people in Texas do not agree with Abbott. About 85% of the Texans do not agree with Abbott. And because Texas is considered a red state, because they don't believe in him and they're most likely going to vote blue, they will always win. The red will always win. They feel like their voice doesn't matter to always win. And there's so many little rural counties in Texas, a lot of them don't even matter. There's no real teaching hospitals outside the metro areas. You need the large patient population for clinical realms so the residents get practice. Yep. One of the biggest ones is in Dallas. We need to buy Andrea a green screen. Eventually we will. I am working on a little office to where I can have all that. So for now, you get stuck with my living room. Or I paint the wall green and we'll do a green screen there. But I would like to get my office going. So until things change, and excuse me, I don't know why I'm so tired. Until things change, or until we get that vote out and people vote, we're stuck where we're at. West says we have one in Rockford, 150 folks, 300K in Metro, but 3 large learning hospitals. One in OSF. What is OSF? Wes. Bella, what are you doing? Come here. Come say hi to everybody. Come here. Bella. Come here. Come here. No. Come here. Come here. Bella. Come here. Nope. Peanut, no. No. I tried to get another cat for you guys. Order of St. Francis HQ is in Peoria. Order of St. Francis Roman Catholic. Ah, okay. Connie, how far is Evanston from you? Are we keeping you awake? I know it's raining outside, so that's probably why I'm getting tired. Is the rain. I'm usually up until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, it's 5 miles. I have family that lives in Evanston. I have a friend that lives in Hoffman Estates, and I have another friend that lives in Skokie. It's 3 suburbs down. Yep. My half sister lives in Evanston. Evanston is right there, Andrea. How far is far? I don't live in Illinois, but I have friends that live in Hoffman Estates, and I guess that's close to an airport there. Hoffman Estates is the west. Skokie is next to Evanston. Yeah, my friend lives in Skokie, and then my half sister lives in Evanston. And then my aunt lived in Decatur. You live on the north edge of O'Hare. Hoffman
Who
is
all
a
do we
model.
have in chat now? Because now I see 4 people on YouTube and 1 on Twitch. So somebody's still hiding back there in Twitch, and there's 2 others in YouTube that
My
are not
parents went
chatting.
to
Unless that was me.
my parents went to school in Evanston. Decatur is 2 hours south. Yeah, my aunt lived in Decatur. My sister and my aunt did, and then my sister moved down here, back down here. Yep. I remember going up to Illinois when I was a kid. My aunt had a ranch out there, and she had a pet raccoon. The raccoon would go through the doggy door, come in, get her snacks, and walk right back out. And she had horses and cows and ducks and geese, and Decatur is due east of Champaign. Yes, that I do know because we had to go through Champaign, I think, to get there. Or to Tunga. So yeah, Illinois, great place. Chicago's a great place. I've only been to the outer skirts of Illinois. I've never been in Chicago itself, like in the city. Hoffman used to be sparsely populated, not so much anymore. Yeah, I've heard that. Down where Donald was yesterday, and believe me, every down there does not love him. Oh, I bet not. So where was his rally yesterday? What, Ken? Where was his rally yesterday?
I had it up there earlier. Let me see. Trump rally. 625. Try that again. Okay. It was Illinois.
Well, it was okay. Quincy, Illinois, on the Mississippi River. 5 hours southwest of Chicago. Puppies are
It's
getting
Adams
lost.
County Fairgrounds. Adams County, Illinois.
How far is that, Connie? 4 hours? That's where you come from, Wes? There were more people shopping at my, bless you.
Thank you.
Shopping at Mayor more than at the rally. A pride
Mendon,
parade.
Illinois.
A pride parade was 4 times bigger than that rally. Did they show? I wonder if they showed the crowd. Didn't look like there was very many there. Excuse me. It's still storming here, by the way. Thunderstorms for the next 4 hours.
In 2010, there were only 953 people living in that town. That's a little town.
Oh, where? Which town?
Mendon,
Quincy?
Illinois.
Ah.
It's part of Quincy, Illinois.
It was hot and muggy. Oh, yeah.
Well, then I know where it is because I've been to Quincy, Illinois, because one of my trainings was in Quincy, Illinois. That's very rural. It is so rural that when you go there, the only roads getting there and to and from are like cornfields. It's very, very rural.
You were getting the rain we had yesterday. It poured hard out. Big tents came down and 2 support poles cracked. Yeah, you were saying that, Connie. You were saying that. Yeah, we had a real bad thunderstorm yesterday. Really bad. The lightning was wicked. It was really bad. This rain does it to me every time, makes me tired. But yeah, we're at this time of the year where Central Florida, rain hot during the day and then rain in the evening. Quincy, Illinois used to have Collins factory there. They only recently got an interstate. Oh wow, that is rural. Wow.
It's very rural. It's like roads that you're
Wow.
familiar with driving on, Andrea. Those are the only kind of roads, like a state road type place around it.
Right. Well, like the back roads that I take to get, back and forth.
Mhm.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Like the roads that you drive on, those are the best kinds of roads around Quincy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they just got that interstate.
Because I refuse to take the interstate. I flat out refuse. I will take back roads.
But the traffic is not too bad there.
Really? Have you been to Tampa?
No, I mean, the
Orlando?
traffic is not too bad
Downtown
in Quincy,
Orlando?
or it wasn't back when I went, but it's been 14 years since I went, so it might have got a lot worse in 14 years in Quincy, Illinois.
Fortunately, we had a large garage we could go into. That's good, Connie. Hotels
No,
used
the
to
traffic
be
where you are is horrible.
not where I'm
The
at.
traffic where you live is pretty horrible. It's pretty horrible here too.
Not in Lakeland. Not in Lakeland. Orlando, yeah. Orlando's horrible. Tampa's horrible. Fortunately,
Merritt Island and Melbourne are 2 big cities are horrible.
yeah, Melbourne's
And
real
Merritt Island's
bad.
not really a city, but Melbourne is horrible.
Oh, I don't like Melbourne. The hotels used to be like the Bates Motel. The interstate system in downstate Illinois is really screwed up. 1 4-lane will go to a city and just to the end. No, but the cell service is pretty spotty. They are intrastate. We have traffic jam in Rockford from 5 p.m. until 5:15. You don't want to go. You do not want to be in Tampa from the hours of 3 in the afternoon till 7. Nope. You will. It's like the 504 in California. It is ridiculous. I had a friend who lived on Merritt Island. Connie says. See, I started it. I saw that, Ken. I started it.
I would go, except for we're having too much fun talking to each other.
Connie, Kelly, look at my girl. What's she doing? Say hi, Connie. Connie Kelly.
Yes, Connie Kelly, rush hour in Chicago starts at 5 and goes to midnight. I've been stuck in that traffic. That's horrible.
That bridge in Tampa is really cool, but sometimes takes for the Sunshine State Bridge.
Shine
Yeah.
Skyway.
Skyway, yep. Or the Howard Franklin, one of the two. Yes. Yep, there she is. There she is. I tried to get the other ones to come up, but none of them want to come up. So I take my peanut. Peanut butter. She's looking at the chat. Peanut butter. Don't sneeze when they are on. I don't sneeze when they're on TV. She's
I presume he means cats, right?
The cats, yeah, the cats. I'm surprised none of the other cats have come up here because usually they're all around me when I'm sitting on the couch, but none of the other ones want to. So I used to have to go to MacDill Air Force Base and drive from Chai all the time. Now I just drive Maxwell Air Force Base in Montgomery. Let me tell you what, go and try and get to MacDill on a busy day. Good luck in Tampa. During the week. Weekends aren't so bad, but during the week, trying to get to MacDill, it's ridiculous. The Homestead Air Force Base wasn't too terribly bad because that was on a main drag off of Biscayne.
You stay in the queue. I guess that means the lane that's reserved for people that have carpoolers.
Yeah, what the queue? What's the queue, Connie? Homestead for not for Andrew. Yeah. When Andrew hit, I was at the time 7 months pregnant, and the Red Cross had called. They couldn't find my dad. Well, my dad lived off of Biscayne down from the Air Force Base. Well, they weren't letting anybody in. They told us, the Red Cross told us, because of where your dad lives, we need you to bring your birth certificate because they're not in it. Because to get in, you have to go past air. To get in off of the Everglades, out of that area, to get onto Biscayne, you had to come in through that way and hit Biscayne to get down to my dad's, which meant you had to pass the Air Force Base. So I had to show my birth certificate to prove that I actually lived down there, that I had family that lived there, because of the fact of because my parents lived in the same area as where the Air Force Base was when Andrew hit. It was Sunshine Skyway. Yes, it was. At the time, it was bad because of the hurricane. West. It wasn't always checkpoints like that. Just because of the Hurricane Andrew. Military IDs get you through the roadblocks. Yeah, but I didn't live in Homestead at the time. I lived up here. I lived in Sarasota. So I didn't have any IDs or anything. And they couldn't find my parents. And since my dad was military, I didn't have any of that. I just had to bring my birth certificate. I'm an old man who talks slightly Southern. They'll always trust me. But yeah, I didn't have any of that, Connie. Had I, they would have let me through. Yeah, everybody in my dad's neighborhood, everything was gone. Air Force was ruined. Air Force Base, yeah, it was bad. Plus, my license plate is Illinois. Yep. Okay, Ken, what do you think? It's almost 11 my time. I don't know about you guys. You guys ready to wrap tonight up? Waiting for the chat. Sorry if I'm looking down. I got to be better about that.
I was just looking at my internet to see if I was on 5 gigs instead of 2.4, and I
You're
am.
very
I guess
very
all these
spotty tonight.
Yeah, it's probably just something going on with the quality of the internet quality, probably due to the weather. It hasn't cut out. There has been some rumble in the area earlier, but I think it's just affecting it a little bit, not much.
No, they did not win the Stanley Cup. Oh, what an upset. Oh, the Lightning. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. The Tampa Bay Lightning lost their streak. Wow. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. I like hockey. 2-1. Oh, man. Damn. Well, there's always next year. There's always next year. My good friend, former military, had her worldly goods in a storage unit that got hit by the hurricane, lost everything. Yep. A lot of people lost everything. I just turned into game 6. I cannot believe that, Connie. Oh man. That stinks. Oh. I have family that are from Illinois, so yes, I'm a Cubs fan. I just can't believe they won the Stanley Cup and not the Lightning. That's like when the Cubs won the pennant. The whole area got happier, yeah. Yeah, because it's been so long since the Cubs won. That's why. It was a big deal, Wes. It's like when you direct a choir and everybody in the choir is staring at their music. Yes. I like hockey better when it was the original 6. I like hockey anyway because I grew up around it. You know. And a lot of it was highlight, so a lot of it was highlight, so that kind of threw me into liking hockey. The Wolves on the Cater Cup yesterday. Yep. I heard that. I heard that. But that's okay. I'm just really disappointed in my Lightning. It really sucks. No, my iPad's up above and my iPhone's down below. Because I can't do the chat. I have to toggle back and forth. So this way I can see the chat and be on. I know I got to get better about it, Wes. I promise I will. Yeah, I'm not. iPhone's here, down here. You guys are up there. My uncle had a farm near Blackhawks training camp in St. Catharines, Ontario. When they stayed there, we would ride out the bikes. Oh, cool. That's cool, Connie. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's 10:59 my time. And I know Ken's got to get up early in the morning to go to work. I don't have to work till the afternoon. Yes, I'm reading on my phone. No, I'm not trying to be critical. No, it always helps, Wes. I don't take it as criticism. I take it as helpful. Yeah, I'm reading on my phone and they got my iPad up above. Oh. Well, that was good. That was fun, Connie. Yeah. It's getting late and Ken's got to go to work and I got doggies to feed and cats to put away and kittens to feed. I got 2 new kittens to foster. I work overnight, so I'm going to eat and get ready for work. All right, Connie. I'm so glad you guys came here.
Thank you.
We will see you next Sunday at 7:15.
Okay.
Stranger Things makes me too nervous. Me too. And don't tell me about it. I have not seen the new episodes. No trailers. Don't want anything. Don't want to know anything. Haven't seen it yet. All right, guys. Good night.
I usually run a thing at the end, but I think I'll just cut to the end here. I think we've done enough, and we're not really going to cut anybody off that's watching whatever. So I think I'll just cut it in a few.
Well, go get a shower and get relaxed. I only watched 2 in small doses. Wes, I watched all of them except this last one. And then the new one's coming out in July. So I warned Hal, do not tell me. Watch The Tourist on HBO. I heard that was good, Connie. I heard that was really good. Good night, Wes. Well, the one in July is the last one. There will be no more Stranger Things after there is the cup. Yeah, I'll have to look at it when I watch the news. You have to watch it intently so don't miss anything. Okay. That will be on my to-do watch list. Trying to get rid of subscriptions. I know it's hard. I've cut mine down a lot. All right. Good night, all.
Hey, good night. Thanks for watching Freedom, Speech, and You. I am going to cut to the end here. So
Jamie lost his dad when he got
you want to keep talking, I guess I'm going to play the usual ending to the show.
Okay.
You can keep talking in chat, or do you want to just go?
I don't know. All right, guys. Do you want to just go, or do you want to talk in chat for a little bit, or do you just want to close everything out? No HBO or Disney, no cable. Get a Roku, Wes. Get a Roku. It doesn't cost you anything other than $35 to get it. I always let you win, Kenneth. Laugh out loud. Ken's trying to always get the last word.
I think you're seeing his chat before I'm seeing it. Okay, now I saw that, but whatever. If y'all want to chat for 4 minutes, I'll play the ending of the show, but that's up to you. So let's see.
I do have a Roku. All right, tomorrow, Kelly. Roku costs $5. No, you can get it for $0. They have a free one now where you can get the Roku shows for nothing, and then pay the $5 a month. Going to watch the cup ceremony. I don't want to hear it about the cup ceremony. Enjoy, my friend. Next year we're getting it back. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Wes. I'm glad you could put faces to us now.
Okay, I'm going to play the end. If you want to chat, that's what's going to happen.
I'm just saying good night, all.